in the spring. So now we bring the truth about the King of Kings. That's Black Jesus and not Caesar Borgias. And the facts can't be changed. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. Hebrew Israelites. Kwam Yashala. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High.
Shalom, brothers and sisters.
Shalom.
Welcome to another live class at the Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge. We're located at 8524 South Braeswood Boulevard, Houston, Texas, 77071. Class times are Monday and Wednesday from 7 to 10 p.m., Friday 6 to 9 p.m., and Saturday Sabbath class from 10 to 2. We also do our kids class from 2:30 to 3:30 p.m. on Saturdays. Okay, if you're on Sunday. If you're in town, if you're local, on those days, stop by, check out class, take in the ambiance, be around brothers, be around sisters. Okay, if you're in the San Antonio area, we have a school there. Also, if you're in Albuquerque, we also have classes. If you want the information, hit us up. And we'll get you the times and days. Okay. You can watch us here live on YouTube at ISBHBK. At Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge. You can catch us live streaming on Facebook under Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge. Look out for our ISBHBK cable show every Thursday at 8:30, okay, on Comcast Local Channel 17, or you can stream it live on hmstv.org, okay? Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the channels. We have our 5 Minutes of Wisdom. We also have our ISBHBK Kids, so make sure you like, share, and subscribe, okay? Also check out the Blog Talk Radio, brought to you by the brother Mashaba down in Albuquerque. That's blogtalkradio.com/Mashaba. It's every Monday. What is the days? Is it Monday through Friday? Or Tuesday and Thursdays? Yeah, every Tuesday and Thursday now, starting around 9:30. Actually, they do Tuesday and Thursday. They also do Sabbath. Shabbat morning. So check out for that. What did I miss on that front? That's it. For any garments that you want made, you can get on Facebook and search Israel Wear. And the sisters will be glad to make you anything you need garment-wise: headbands, armbands, tunics, girdles, whatever you want. They got it. They can do it. If you need to reach a teacher, you can reach Priest Kazakia at 281-707-2737. What's that? If you can reach me at 303-557-8979. Right? You can email us at isbhbk@isbhbk.org. If you wanna contact us that way, you can email us. For any donations, any form of contribution is welcome and needed. Any books, pens, papers, cars, clothes. We need a new building. We need something bigger. I know nobody got a building offhand, but you know, any realtors, right? That wanna give us like 25 cents per square foot, something around that range. That'd be nice. Hey, you never know. You gotta ask. You never know. You never know who knows who and who got what. So, what they say in the world, a closed mouth don't get fed. Scriptures say, ask and you shall receive. So, here we are asking. For any monetary donations, the Wells Fargo account number, as well as the Google Wallet information will be on the screen. Okay, let's see here. Just a reminder that for those that gave for the vow to help the school, that's coming up in the next few days. Hopefully nobody went out and splurged on Christmas gifts. Nobody in here, and nobody online, not the righteous brothers and sisters online in here, right? Ain't nobody doing their Christmas on the low, right? Con? Hey, you never know, man. Some just don't understand, right? Some just still they're lost in the tradition of men. So, you know, it's just our job to show them, man, to show them the right way, and help them to get out of those customs. Yeah, that's gonna be it for the announcements. We'll take a couple of questions, and then we'll get into the topic. Let's see here. Shalom, brothers and sisters. Shalom, brothers and sisters. How do you gain the wisdom of God? Go to Ecclesiastes 6. I don't have no chimney. Here go Ronnie. Come on, Ronnie. Come on, sir. You don't have a chimney. Neither do I. Oh, I actually do. Chimney, fireplace, it's all the same. Right? But the question is, how does one get the wisdom? How do you gain wisdom from God? I think we answered this. Didn't we answer this the other day? I think we answered this question a few classes ago, but go to Ecclesiastes 6 real quick. How do we get the wisdom? Who knows? I already gave it away. Where am I going in Ecclesiastes?
Verse 18.
Let's see.
Start verse 19.
Actually,
Sits at 19.
well, more than likely this person ain't a young person. So let's start at verse 32.
Verse 32.
So Ecclesiastes 6 and verse 32.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 6, verse 32.
Uh-huh.
My son, if thou wilt.
If thou what?
If thou wilt.
So we gotta be first willing. Actually, hold that, go to Hebrews 5. Go to Hebrews 5. Right? In verse 12. Because, give me that real quick. Somebody give me Hebrews 5. Let's backtrack real quick. There's certain things one has to understand when trying to get the wisdom of the Most High. What is it that you have to understand? What first has to happen? Because the wisdom of you have the wisdom of the Most High on one side, and what else? And what do you have on the other side?
The wisdom of the world.
You got the what?
Wisdom of the world.
Right. So you got the wisdom of the Most High that you're trying to attain to, but if you're trying to gain the wisdom, that means you have the wisdom of the world. You got that?
God.
So the one thing we got to realize is, no, we want to get this one that he's getting for me, and then we're gonna get to Hebrews 5. I'm sorry. I know. What is it?
1 Corinthians chapter 3 and verse 19.
Go ahead.
God.
Somebody get that from me.
1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 19.
Read.
For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with God.
The wisdom of the world is what?
Foolishness with God.
So one that comes in trying to gain the wisdom of the Most High has to realize that what?
For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with God.
Right, so what does the world teach us? Well, what is everybody going to celebrate tomorrow?
Christmas.
Christmas, right? What's everybody going to celebrate tonight? Christmas Eve. Right? Oh, you get to open up one gift and, you know, sip the eggnog by the fireplace with the tree lit. All your family gathered around singing Christmas carols. Oh, Saint Nick.
You gotta leave the cookies out and with a little bit of milk.
You gotta leave the cookies out with a little bit of milk for Santa. Knowing damn well you're gonna wake up in the middle of the night and eat them cookies. Right?
No, half of them, because you gotta
leave. So you gotta take one bite and drink the milk just a little bit. Right? God. The wisdom of the world teaches us that old Saint Nick comes down the chimney, drops off gifts. So the holidays. The wisdom of the world teaches us what? Relationships. But bad relationships. The wisdom of this world is like, yeah, hit it, quit it, split it, pass it to your homie. God. Right? God. That's the wisdom of this world. Use this one? Oh, okay. Yeah. The wisdom of this world teaches us how not to deal the correct way in wisdom with our spouse or so-called spouse, right? The wisdom of this world tells you, you know, run around like a whoremonger, sleep with everything. The wisdom of this world tells you what? Chase every religion until you find one that is soothing to your spirit. That's what the wisdom of this world teaches you. It doesn't teach you how to be a man. The wisdom of this world tells you that a man is what? What's a man according to this world?
A man who can take care of himself, who got J's, who got a house,
Read.
Who got a car,
Read.
He makes 6 figures.
He does what?
He makes 6 figures.
Come on.
He knows how to keep his apartment together.
Right.
He knows how to pay his bills on time.
Right.
He knows how to budget.
Or he's a man if he's sexually endowed. Oh, you a real man, right?
Yeah. If
you can blow your back out, he's a man. Like, he's a real man. He be blowing my back out, girl.
God.
Right? But the scriptures don't say that. The scriptures say a man is commended according to what?
His knowledge.
His wisdom. But what wisdom? The wisdom according to the world? Because if that was the case, why is niggas getting shot left and right in the streets? If it was the wisdom of this world. So we got to realize that trying to attain the wisdom of the Most High, you got to clean that cup. You got to understand that the things that you've been taught for however long it's been, it says the wisdom of this world is what?
It's foolishness with God.
Right. So all your sciences and all the different doctrines you get into, all the you know, those quotes, like they throw the memes out there with the proverbs with no author, right? All those things that we've been taught to live by. That's foolishness with the Most High. Go ahead.
For it is written, He taketh the wise in their own craftiness.
Right, because you want to be wise, but you get took it in your own craft. Huh? No. Right? Now, so we got to understand that. One has to understand the things you've been taught for however long. If you're 40 years old, you got 40 years of foolishness. If you're 50 years old, you got 50 years of foolishness. If you're 10 years old, without the wisdom of the Most High, that's what you have. Now, once you understand that, let's go to Hebrews 5 and 12.
Hebrews chapter 5, verse 12.
Uh-huh.
For when for the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again, which be the first principles of the oracles of God.
Right. Now, I understand that your question was about Yahweh, not the world, but I'm just showing you that when you come to get the wisdom, you got to, because there can be a battle of wisdoms, where you start getting the wisdom of the Most High, but you haven't understood that what you've been shown through life outside of the Bible isn't true wisdom. And then we try to match the two up. We see it all the time. You try to match two wisdoms, and that's where some fall.
Or you try to commingle them.
Or you try to sew old cloth, right? You try to sew a patch onto an old garment. Or you try to put new wine into old bottles, like the scriptures say. So you got to first get rid of that old wine. That's why I went to that first scripture, to show that wisdom, that old wisdom, it represents that old wine. So you can't put new wine in the old bottles. You got to first get rid of the old wine, clean up, and then So, you know, it's just basic scriptures. I mean, I can go to all of those, new wine, new bottle. I can go to all of that. But I was just trying to keep it a little bit more basic. So once you understand that the wisdom that you've been taught is foolishness, because you know why a lot of people fall when they come into the truth? What is it that they don't want to let go of?
The old man.
They don't want to let go of the old wisdom, the old way of doing things.
Pimp crowns.
Yeah, they still want to be, you want to be a pimp with the Bible. You think because the Bible does, you know, it allows a man, let's say, to have more than one wife. We know that's biblical, right? But some brothers don't understand even how to do that the right way. They still use their old wisdom in the world to get their wife in order, or to even get a woman. So I have to start with this Corinthians to show one has to realize that the things we've been shown through life is foolishness. Read that Hebrews 5:12 one more time.
For when for the time ye ought to be teachers,
Right?
ye have need that one teach you again.
Right, then you have to understand that. Think about it. The need, when you were supposed to be a teacher, because we all got wisdom, right? We all got knowledge, but what wisdom are you going to teach? So you need someone that's already versed in the wisdom to teach you again. See, this is where a lot of brothers fail also. They're like, oh, I'm going to get wisdom from the Most High. The Holy Spirit showed me. It's like, wait a minute. It says what? Read it again.
For when for the time ye ought to be teachers,
Right?
ye have need that one teach you again.
Yeah, somebody got to teach you again. But what? Teach you again how to lay the pimp hand down? Teach you again how to smack her in the order? Teach her again how to prop up the Christmas tree? No, you need to be taught again what? What's up, Lamont?
As in the world, all he did is teach you about death.
They taught you what?
And he taught you about death. They didn't teach you how to come to life.
The world never taught you how to come to life. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
And it is absolutely true, because if you were already in life, you wouldn't need the wisdom of the Most High. So I want you to bear with me, because you got to understand your question. The way we have to answer it, we can't just be direct, like, oh yeah, just learn the Bible. But we got to show the mind state of one that's trying to come to wisdom. This is for all new brothers and sisters.
God.
Where you try to, I love what Abadiah said, you try to mix the wisdom together, all of a sudden it's confusion, because you haven't got rid of your old ways. Y'all understand this?
God.
So read it from the top one more time. This is very, 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 somebody needs to make a stamp of Hebrew 5:12, so we can stamp it on brothers' foreheads. Not a tattoo, but a stamp. Bah! Right? Not a tag, but we need to get a big stamp where you can just plaster on a brother's chest. Bow! Hebrews 5:12, brother. Remember that. Read.
For when for the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach you again.
You have need that one teach you again. Why? Because the wisdom of the world is foolishness with the Most High. What are you being taught?
Foolishness.
You are being taught foolishness, but now that you be taught again, you're being taught the right way. Read.
Which be the first principles of the oracles of God.
And like we were talking about the other day, because this question keeps popping up. I see somebody online asking it again. But, you know, you got to realize that everything, what he's saying and the edification he's edifying, but that it's sickening. It's a wisdom. Can I get another mic?
Get another.
That it's sickening that the scriptures tell you that the Most High called the sick. So the wisdom that you're getting or you've gotten is a disease, right? Is a disease. It's a sickness that in our mind that we think is correct. You know what I mean? And the way that Esau, the white man, told us is correct. The way the world told us is correct. So, you know, like the scripture's saying, the wisdom of this world is foolishness. But it goes deeper, right? It's corrupt. It's filthy. The scriptures tell you in 1 Corinthians 4, verse 4, no, the descendant from above.
Oh, the wisdom that's descended from
1
above
Corinthians?
is earthly?
Yeah, go there real quick. So he said it the right way. He said it the right way. Well, we're taking the opportunity with your question to really nail in brothers' minds and sisters' minds that you can't mix new cloth on old garments, or no old cloth on a new garment. It don't work like that. So read that real quick. 1 Corinthians. Is it 2 Corinthians?
It's James chapter 3 verse.
Oh, we're all wrong. Okay, so go ahead, read that. Yeah, you're right. It is
Sportsmith.
Go ahead.
James chapter 3 verse 15.
And then we'll jump back, because it's all just saying the same thing, but it's adding little pieces to it so you can really comprehend what the Most High is saying. Go ahead.
James chapter 3 verse 15.
Yeah.
This wisdom descended not from above.
Yeah, the wisdom of the world don't descend from above. It ain't from the Most High. So before you even get to, because what do a brother do when you first tell him this? You ask him this. Oh, study the laws of the Most High. Boom.
And that's it.
That's it. Keep the commandments.
Grow a beard.
You're right. Dang, that's totally right. But a lot of people don't understand that. Okay, you're supposed to grow a beard and keep the commandments and put on your fringes, but you can't mingle the thought process of the white man mingled in with the knowledge of the Most High. And just like he just pointed out, it's in everything. Family, house, eating, emotions, mind state, everything. It can't be a part of you. Yeah.
You know, I was just thinking about, as you were saying that, in the world, that's what we do.
Yeah.
We commingle what our parents teach us.
There you go.
To what the world teaches us.
Yeah.
To what our friends teach us. To what TV.
Yeah. Yep.
And we all try to mesh it together to come up with something, but it always, it's a disaster.
But all that wisdom is all the same wisdom.
Yeah.
It all comes from the same. If it ain't coming from here,
yeah,
all that wisdom is the same.
Right. It tells you what it.
It's like our mind state of, and so when we come into the truth, we think that that's what we could do because that's what we were taught in the world.
Right. Exactly.
That's what we did in the world.
And we went over this. Who went over that the other day?
You did. We answered this the other day.
Yeah, we answered this question the other day, but it's a good question for a lot of new people. Go ahead, read where we're at.
But it's earthy.
Yeah, it says that wisdom that descended that you're getting is earthly. It's not of the Most High.
And what does it mean, earthly? What is it going into? When it says that wisdom is earthly, you know what it is? It's like, I can smoke weed, and that's gonna put me in the spirit.
Right.
I need blunts. I gotta get lifted to understand the Bible. The scriptures say precept upon precept.
Right.
Through thy precepts I gain understanding. That's just one example.
Right.
Because you have brothers that think like that. Well, I got the wisdom. I grow my beard. I don't eat pork. I don't eat shrimp, crab, lobster.
Right.
But I'm gonna use this blunt to get me to a higher plane.
Right. Or I'm gonna be a white witch.
Or I'm gonna be a white witch.
Or I'm gonna be a white witch and take the logic of the white witch, which is to tap into the elements, the quasars, the earth.
The chakras,
your chakras, right? Because you got to
that.
get your kundalini tickled to tap into that wisdom, right? It's the homo spirit. That's why you got a weak, childish, boy-like mentality with that, because you want your kundalini touched. But that goes back to what?
Earthy.
Right, earthly.
Yeah.
It doesn't got nothing to do with the Most High. Like, Christ had to get his anal cavity touched to get this wisdom of the Most High. A lot of brothers think that. They think like, I got into this big conversation with a brother that knew the scriptures, and we were going back and forth. I was like, brother, y'all wish I never had to smoke weed, take acid, decalcify his pineal gland. He never had to wake up and do yoga. You know what I mean?
Tap into the chakras.
Yeah, he never had to do dogward down. Dogward down with a guy behind him. He never had to do that. Yeah, brother.
Okay, question about the yoga. Like, I know it. Hold on. There's nothing wrong with just yoga in general. Like, just the.
No, nothing wrong with stretching.
Okay.
Stretching is not wrong.
But taking it to, you're talking about yoga and
right.
What do you mean?
Yoga meaning that now they're tapping into the religion of the Hindus.
Okay.
Now they're tapping into the concepts and ideologies of them. To where, like I said about the white witch, a lot of people do that too. We had a sister that came in and she was a white witch. but it's about tapping into the elements. It's about becoming one with the air.
And the whole meditation process of it, when you're just humming.
It's not. It ain't got nothing to do with the Most High.
Yeah.
See, and once again, for y'all online, for y'all in here, we're just giving y'all the examples of what we encountered and what the mixing is. A lot of brothers and sisters try to mix these things with the wisdom of the Most High. See, the Bible says, as a man thinketh, so is he, but the wisdom that you got from the white man using the Bible, that's not what it is. See, so now you're starting to think like the Esau giving you and breaking the scriptures down. It's like going in your Bible and you got the notes.
You use the commentary?
You're using the commentary the white man has taught you through the commentary. You can't do that. And you can't mesh these things. It don't got nothing to do with the Most High, being a white witch, doing the yoga to reach the outer planes, decalcifying your pineal gland. And I'm listen, not everybody believes in tickling the kundalini, but there is a people that believe that. They believe that. Like y'all might not, you might think it's funny, but they believe you got to get anally touched to reach this outer plane.
I don't even know what a kundalini is.
Yeah, it's just your last chakra. It's your last chakra that is by your anal, by your
prostate.
It's by your butt. You know what I mean? But once again, it's the wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High. But that's what they believe. Like I'm
gotta get anally probed to be awakened.
No, I gotta bring all my chakras in, and you know what I mean, bro. You're not understanding me because the elements are giving me the power. No, they're not. Yahweh Shai is giving you the power. The Most High is giving you the power. You're not in a video game. This is real life. Go ahead.
Sensual.
It's what?
Sensual.
Yeah.
You're tapping into your senses.
But that's what we just said.
Everything's about how I feel, how it feels. I want to feel this way, and not dealing with knowledge. See, knowledge is going to make you, the knowledge of the Most High, you're going to be uncomfortable. You're going to be happy. You're going to be joyful. It's a balance. But see, it's about being sensual to the point where I'm comfortable. Whether it be I got to eat my way all the way into oblivion, get high into oblivion, tickle my kundalini into oblivion. It's all about pleasing what?
Your flesh.
The flesh, and not pleasing the spirit.
Right.
Go ahead.
Devilish.
It's what?
Devilish.
And ultimately it becomes devilish because the root of all of it, all the root that all these things that you have to do comes from, you serving some other God, is devilish. It's death. Come on.
Verse 16. For where envy and strife is.
That's it,
That's it on that.
Go back to the last scripture.
Go back to Hebrews 5 and 12.
Hebrews chapter 5, verse 12.
And we're going to touch on what he was talking about. Tonight's class, if we get into it, it's going to go into that a little deeper, but finishing up this question.
Go ahead, read.
For the time you ought to be teachers,
right?
You have need that one teach you again.
Yeah, you have to be taught again because remember the things that you were taught in the beginning, you're not supposed to teach that wisdom of the world. You weren't supposed to teach that to anyone else. Eradicate that out of your brain. Get taught again the right way, right? The spiritual, the way of the Most High in Christ. Go ahead.
Which be the first principles of the oracles of God.
Yeah, this is the first principle to gaining the wisdom of the Most High. This is the first thing you have to do.
Right. Can I get that Mark 2:21?
Yep.
Mark 2:21 real quick. We're speaking of.
Dang.
Go ahead.
Uppercut. Mark chapter 2 verse 21.
You know what? Go to the one in Matthews, man. Don't grab the one in Mark real quick. Grab the one in Matthews. Matthews 9:16. Matthews 9:16.
You've been on a roll today.
Matthews 9:16. Read that.
Matthew chapter 9 and verse 16.
Go ahead.
No man putteth a new piece of cloth onto an old garment.
There's no possibility it can work. You're going to, the outcome of that is destruction. And that's what a lot of brothers and sisters end up going and doing more hurt to themselves, trying to mingle the two. Go ahead.
First of all, when y'all watch TV, remember the back in the day shows when when they would come with the patch on the jeans? Who was doing that? It was always Esau, patching up old ass jeans, right? Showing you the wrong way to do it. He was all like, you the kid, he got the old jeans with the brand new polka dot patch. You're like, what was that?
Damn,
But
take it back.
But think about it.
Yeah.
The wisdom of this world tells you, oh yeah, just patch that up. Just put an old. You ever try to put a patch on some jeans that's been shredded?
Mm-hmm.
Bro, you sew that patch in it, just rips the rest of the jeans up. You might as well just make it into shorts. Just cut the legs off. But who teaches you that? Oh yeah, just patch it up. Just put a patch on that. It's Esau, man. That's their way of doing things. It's that shortcut. It's not about doing things the right way and doing things in order, cleaning things out, getting rid of the old to make room for that new. It's like, oh, just put a brand new patch on that, make it look like a sore thumb. We can't be like that. Go ahead.
For that which is put in to fill it up,
right.
Take it from the garments.
Right. It taketh from the garment. This is why it says you can't serve two masters, because one is going to get more. Somebody is going to get more attention. And doesn't this sound like the battle a lot of brothers and sisters go through? Like they still try to serve two processes, two things, two wisdoms. It's going to be destructive. You can't do it. Go ahead.
And the rent is made worse.
And the rent is made worse. That's the point I wanted to get to you. You end up being worse. You end up going out back in the world and being worse. So this is why you cannot mingle these wisdoms. You can't mingle the Most High's wisdom with the wisdom of this world. But go ahead. Jump back to Hebrews 5.
Jump back to Hebrews. You got to stay standing and hold it. Yes, sir. Go ahead. From the top.
For the time you ought to be teachers, you have need that one teach you again.
Right, because you can't put that patch, that new patch on an old garment. You can't mingle those two wisdoms together. One is going to overrule the other, but one has to be eradicated. If you're really truly coming for the wisdom of the Most High, then the wisdom of the world, you have to realize is foolishness. You got to get rid of those doings. Go ahead.
Which be the first principles of the oracles of God.
Oh yeah, read.
And are become such as have need of milk and not of strong meat.
Right. So then you got to understand this, that you got to take in the milk and not the strong meat. See, a lot of brothers, they come in, they're like, I want all the wisdom, and they expect to take the Bible and to shove it down their throat and get all the deep Daniel breakdowns. They want to know all the revelations. They want to know all, you want to know all the deep Genesis breakdowns, but you don't even know how to treat your brother. You don't even know how to follow orders. You don't know about charity. You don't know about love. You don't even know about peace. You don't know what true joy is. But you want all the revelations breakdown? You want all the revelations breakdown, but you don't know how to deal charitable. You don't know how to deal with your wife, deal with your children. So you got to get that milk. You got to get that precept upon precept. Line upon line, here a little, there a little. But you got to get first and foremost the milk, the basics, fundamental scriptures. Yeah, you want to run around with the beard, the fringes. You want to throw Bible verses at everybody else. But first, understand, why is it important for you to be what is it about being an Israelite that's important? Why is it important to you to hold the standard? These are the things that brothers got to really contemplate in their head. You know why? Because three years down the line, when you're ready to give up and you don't see the importance of keeping consistent, standard, being diligent, all the ones that you were throwing the Bible at, when you give up, they're going to look at you and say, wow, you're a hypocrite. The name of the Most High is blasphemed through you to the Gentiles. Yeah. That's what happens, though. You got these gung-ho Israelites like, look, the chariots and all, like, first of all, you're a weekend. Stop. You 1 week into the truth and you want all the strong steak. You want the filet mignon T-bone, right? There ain't no such thing. That's a filet mignon T-bone. But my point is, you want the strong meat. But you didn't get the milk to even understand, how do I stay grounded? How do I grow the right way? So now when it is time for you to apply basic, somebody give me that, the simplicity that's in Christ. When it's time for you to apply the simplicity in Christ, what happens? You don't know it. Because all you have is breakdowns on Daniel and Revelations and who is Japhet and Esau. You got those breakdowns, but you don't have charity. You can't break down charity or love or peace. The fruits of the Spirit. Those are the things that ground us. Those are the milk. That's not, listen, I don't need no strong meat. No one needs any strong breakdown if you can't break down charity and hospitality and giving and love and patience and long suffering and forgiveness, brotherhood, sisterhood. If you can't break those down, you need to stay away from the strong meat. What you got? 2
Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 3.
Uh-huh.
But I fear, least by any means,
right,
as the serpent beguiled Eve.
Right, because this is how we get beguiled, with the strong meat. And it's not our time, some of us. Go ahead.
Through his subtlety.
Uh-huh.
So your minds should be corrupted.
Right.
From the simplicity that is in Yahushua.
Yeah, we get corrupted because why? We're chasing after the wrong thing. The scriptures, the principles is getting the milk. That's the first thing. You get the milk. Jump back. Finish off from where you at.
Which be the first principles of the oracles of God.
Go ahead.
And are become such as have need of milk.
Read.
And not of strong meat.
Come on.
For everyone that useth milk.
Everyone that you got to hear this. Everyone that useth milk.
Is unskillful.
He's what?
Is unskillful.
Yeah, you got to realize that you're unskillful in this word. Else you wouldn't need the wisdom.
Right. That's really the getting, before the getting of wisdom, right? He says what? No, what does it say before one getteth wisdom? He's got a what? Right? What if you realize that you're dealing with milk? What type of mentality does that put you in?
Baby.
What?
Baby, right?
Right, a baby, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, what's another word, though?
Awareness.
Huh?
Student.
Student, good. What else? It's a word we always use, H word. Humble. It puts you in humble, and that's why the Most High said, before honor is humility. See, because if you don't understand that, what happens is, you're going for all those other things and not applying the fruits of the Spirit. And that's, like he just pointed out, that's the only thing that's going to carry you to the end, the fruits of the Spirit. Knowledge puffeth up. So if knowledge puffeth up, what that mean? That when you get caught up on knowledge and you don't have the fruits of the Spirit behind you, you're just going to be puffed up. And that's what you see with a lot of us Israelites, is that we got a lot of wisdom and knowledge, but we don't have no understanding. Right? So, therefore, what's usually the outcome of a lot of Israelites? It's hypocritical. Right? So,
very. It's hypocritical. They don't last. They offend.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many people hate camps and schools. Because you got Israelites that didn't follow Hebrews 5 and 12. They wanted to get knowledge. They got it. But they didn't follow Hebrews 5, 12, and 13. To understand that they had to be brought through a process to attain. And then they start offending brothers and sisters when they, well, I've been in the truth 5 minutes, but now I'm a general. Well, I've only been here a year, but guess what? I got a camp. I did 2 rounds of street speaking, but now I got a whole congregation, and then what happens? You start offending brothers because you don't know how to deal with them.
That's why him dialing it back from Ecclesiastes 6 was important. Going back to, because it's the process is Hebrews 5 and 12. You got to be willing to be taught. You got to understand that there's a process. So jump back to Ecclesiastes 6 now, where he originally went.
Ecclesiastes 6:32.
Ecclesiastes.
Hold on 1 second. What's that?
What was it? That's 2 Corinthians? What was that?
No, that's Hebrews 5.
No, the one that.
The one before?
2 Corinthians chapter 11 and verse 3.
Thank you.
Done.
Go ahead, read that.
Yeah, he said it. Let me hit these just little comments. A lot of brothers be speeding to get off milk. Yeah, but then when you bring them back to the milk, they choke.
Yeah.
They choke on basics. when they want to bring deep steak,
right?
It's like, wait a minute, drink this milk real quick. And it's like, can't digest that? They don't know how to discern the milk. A lot of camps have information and no spirit. Yeah, because it's all about knowledge. Knowledge puffeth up. I got this deep breakdown. I got this wisdom you never had. It's all about a show of wisdom.
Right. It's exactly.
It's a show of wisdom. Like, who got the greatest knowledge? Come follow me.
Right. Because that's what the black man. That's what people like, though. Especially Israelites. Black people are like, man, whoever got the deepest saying.
Yeah.
Or that's why. Just think about it. How many people jumped on this flat Earth thing?
Yep.
We didn't jump on it. We didn't jump on it because I already knew where that was going. You know what I mean? But how many people jumped on it? Because what that's about is now, okay, you got this breakdown, you got that scripture breakdown, but could y'all break down the flat Earth? Right? Could you go into the scriptures and prove that? And it's all that's about knowledge. But what it's not about is this. Check this out. Go to 1 Timothy 3 verse 1. Because you keep saying it.
Mm-hmm.
This is what they're not trying to obtain spiritually within themselves. They're not trying to become these characteristics as we're going to read. They're going to try to obtain wisdom, knowledge, breakdowns, but inwardly, you can be full of bones.
Yeah, there's no change.
There's no change, but long as I can speak well, I can drop scriptures, I know how to connect the precepts, then that makes you right. But you put it the other day, there's a generation that's clean in their own eyes, right? But that's a lot of us Israelites. And I say us because, remember, we're part of one nation. So it starts with us to fix the problem. It starts with us in our school to fix the problem and be the example. Because nobody's perfect in here. You know what I mean? We got to just make sure we are checking ourselves. You know, and then be an example for the brothers and sisters out there in the world. All right, go ahead and read that.
1 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 1.
Uh-huh.
This is a true saying.
Right.
If a man desire the office of a bishop,
Go ahead.
he desires a good work.
Right. So you want to be a teacher, which is a good work. You want to lead, which is a good work. The Most High said, when you convert a sinner, you cover a multitude of sins. Right? This is where we all supposed to be going because we're a nation of kings and priests. You should be wanting to be a bishop in whatever position or rank or what camp calls it. Bishop, pastors, deacons, or 50,000, 10,000, whatever. It's a title for you to do this. Okay, go ahead.
A bishop then must be blameless.
See, but that knowledge, going to every YouTube and being able to go through the scriptures and learn how to put these precepts together, a lot of times, majority of the times, they're not thinking about how to be blameless. They're thinking like, well, I got the scriptures, I don't got to worry about being blameless. So what are you doing on the low? You're sinning. You're getting high on the low. You're committing adultery on the low. You're doing things without checking yourself into this character. You understand?
And just having the Bible don't make you change into this character.
Yeah. What debate is about? What debate is about being a real bishop? And what did it say? What's the first one you read?
Being blameless.
Right. Where's the debates about being blameless?
Nope. It's always knowledge.
Where's those debates about being more of the character of Yahweh Shai? See, and these are the things that's missing in the nation, is that, and that's why it's so niggerish. That's why you got thug Israelites instead of real priests, because these niggas just come off the street, and because y'all cats, man, can come in and bash kids open, I want to be down with y'all. Y'all niggas is real. Which is fine, but they supposed to still bring them in and work on their spirit and work on these things. They supposed to get them to be blameless. Go ahead.
The husband of one wife.
Yeah, how many Israelites is thinking about dealing with one woman first, as opposed to, I got to get a harem of women? You see what I'm saying? They're not on that. A lot of brothers are like, they start learning the wisdom and knowledge, and they're running with the carnal aspects instead of the spiritual. That's spiritual to be blameless. You know what you got to do to be blameless? Bro, you got to work on yourself. But we're not looking at those things as Israelites and as a people to say, wait a minute, let my example be right, because when I start yelling at somebody about this word, I'm going to be judged for what I put out. That's the most scariest thing we should be saying to ourselves, right? That, man, I got to make sure I got my stuff together before I start trying to get everybody together. But no, we have a zeal, but it's not according to this knowledge. Go ahead.
Vigilant.
Right? Vigilant, awake, aware. How many brothers is not conscious or can care less about what's going on around them, who they're affecting, who they're talking to, what brother? They can care less. Why? Because you're not being vigilant. You're not watching and looking at Satan's devices, how he's going to use your good and twist it into evil. Go ahead.
Sober.
What?
Sober.
Yeah, how many brothers is they found out they can drink, but they're not worried about being sober, being aware. And first of all, how you going to be a bishop when you can't even get over your liquor problem? You see, these spiritual attributes is the milk. This is the milk. This is the basics that we're supposed to be working on. And then when we get to be a bishop, then we can start talking about the knowledge and other things and the deep breakdowns. A brother asked me that one time. He said, hey, what you think about this brother? I said, that brother haven't even committed himself to class. So me and the brother kept talking. He was like, well, what standard do you hold brothers by? Right here. Like, you gotta, if it was just about, listen, you came in and said you believe you was a Jew, then if that's the case, and if that's the only thing that was needed to be a priest of the Most High, then what the heck is all this? What is all this?
Even that Hebrews 5 and 12, 13, when it goes out and it says by reason they have their senses exercised.
Right.
It's like brothers don't want to stick around to have their senses exercised because this is what it leads you to. This is what it leads you into.
Yeah.
Same thing with sisters. It ain't just brothers. It's the same thing with sisters where your senses get exercised by what, though? By being around other like-minded people. That iron sharpeneth iron. But it's like, yeah, I don't got to do that. When you got to be taught again, it's like, nah, the Holy Spirit is going to show me.
Right.
Show you what? All you're going to do is get a bunch of scriptures and you don't know how to break them down. And then, again, there's no discernment of when and how hard and how soft. You're not a true bishop. You're not getting to that point. All you have is knowledge.
Right, and wasn't that one of the biggest problems that Christ had with the Pharisees and Sadducees? The Pharisees and Sadducees had the knowledge, right? That's why he said, do what they say, but don't do what they do. See, because they weren't dealing with the spiritual things and working on themselves. They were just thinking, I can speak as well as good you, as better than you. Right? I can put the precepts together now. And that's what a lot of people are learning. Man, you got Edomites putting precepts together like brothers now.
Yep.
You got white people watching videos and like they see how the precepts is supposed to match each other and the Bible correlates with each other and go through here and you're like, man, that's a white man telling you like that, right? But does that make him pure? Does that make him right in the Most High's eyes? See? Go ahead.
Of good behavior.
Yeah, a lot of brothers don't even know about good behavior. You know how many brothers we got to talk to about courtesy and respect? Like we tell brothers, we fed you, we clothed you, we visited you in prison. Bro, we ain't trying to sleep with your wife. We ain't trying to act for your bank account. All we ask is for respect, Doc, to give us the same. Brothers, niggas in Israel. Yeah, because it's like, I got to sit here and remind you as a man that look at what we're trying to do in Christ. But we can't get the simple respect of you treating me correctly or speaking to me correctly. You got to act like a 12-year-old. I don't want to talk right now. Like, bro, we grown men. What are you talking about? Let's get this dealt with. But the reason why it's like that is because they're not worried about these essential elements that has to be imprinted in your spirit before you start going and tapping into the deep knowledge and everything. And I know this is definitely answering your question, but we're going to way deeper.
You know what's even deep about this Timothy 3, why I love it? Listen, take away the fact that, I don't want to be a teacher. I'm just here to learn. Well, guess what? This is how you be a daddy.
Yeah.
This is how you be a husband. This is how you be a brother. So take away, well, I'm not trying to be a teacher. I'm not trying to lead nobody, but you got kids, right?
Right.
You want a wife, right? Yeah, this is what you need. You got to have these things. You can't be out there whooping your wife, getting drunk, yelling and screaming at her, not being blamed. You got to have all these essential characteristics to be a husband, to be a brother, to be a son, to be anything that you want to be as a man. Forget about just a teacher.
This is really bringing us back to an Israelite man.
An Israelite man.
When it says we're a nation of kings and priests, what it's saying is that you as an Israelite man, you're still going to hold your standard and be this characteristics. That's period, point blank. No niggas are getting into heaven.
Right. In the ghetto.
You understand that? No thugs, no cutthroat, no side-eye looking. You ain't going to be in the kingdom of heaven looking at the nigga like, I don't even like that nigga.
Well, how he get in?
You think that's going to make it? Think about it. Yahweh Shai is going to let niggas in heaven? It ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
You're going to be melted like it says in Ezekiel. You're going to be brought in the middle of Jerusalem and melt. You're going to be melted. Y'all got to see this. Go ahead. Finish that real quick.
Given to hospitality.
Yeah, a lot of brothers don't understand about hospitality. You ain't hospitable, man. Hey, yeah, we got this for you. Whoop, whoop, whoop. We need you to do this. You don't know about respect. Israel, man, they're brutish, beastly.
Yeah. They're brutish with the charity.
Yeah, they no tact. They don't got no tact, man. Go ahead.
Up to teach.
Right. Ready to teach. But how am I going to do that when I am not ready to listen?
Right.
I'm not ready to listen, but I'm ready to teach. Go ahead.
Not given to wine.
Right. Once again, not given to wine. Coming back. You're trying to solve your problems by going out and banqueting. You're trying to solve your problems by, drinking and reveling and partying, and that's how you get out. I just need a breather.
I'm gonna smoke this away.
Yeah, I'm gonna smoke this away. I'm gonna drink this away. I'm gonna use everything else but the Bible, the wisdom of the scriptures to solve my issues.
When I hit the gym, everything just gets way better for me.
Right. It don't work like that, man. That's the wisdom of this world. Go ahead.
No striker.
No what?
No striker.
I'm gonna just punch the nigga in the mouth. That's the old way. But the scriptures is saying no striker. If the first thing, you know what I mean? We really deal with this. We really deal with this, y'all. Man, I'm gonna just punch him in the face, Like, where's that in the Bible? The only ones that was hitting people was the Pharisees hitting Yahweh Shai.
Yeah.
Yahweh Shai constantly told brothers, we're not about that life. Not yet. And we're going to touch on that tonight. Go ahead.
Not greedy of filthy lucre.
Not greedy of filthy lucre. I got to gain something from this. You know what I mean? If I'm going to do this priesthood thing, it got to be about gain. And that gain is filthy lucre. Whether it be money, whether it be women. How many brothers come in? We keep saying it and saying it and saying it. They looking back, they looking for a woman. They come around brothers looking for a woman. And you're not whole, you're not well within yourself until you got that woman there. You
can't function in Christ.
Yeah, you can't. Well, we're going to talk about that too. Go ahead. Go ahead.
But patient.
But what?
Patient.
But patience. But patience. See, a lot of times, and I'm not going to jump into his class. That's what he's saying. I'm not going to too much into his topic, but these are the essential things when you're talking about, well, what do I need? Or how do I get wisdom? Well, you got to learn the basics. You got to get the milk. Go ahead.
Not a brawler.
Not a what?
Not a brawler.
So no, you're not going to solve your problems by punching everybody in the face, getting your gun. That's what you did in the world. You know what I mean? That disgusts me about our people. When niggas just run to the car and try to get their gun, it's disgusting because you know they're weak as hell when they do that.
It ain't nothing what the 45 can't handle.
Right.
But Esau will downtrod you at your job. He'll belittle you. He'll talk crap about your mama on the job.
But you're ready to kill your brother quick.
You'll drink with him, with Esau, after you do that to you.
Yeah. You're ready to kill. Black man step on your feet. Oh no. You're ready to choke him out right then and there.
Not these Balenciagas.
Because these things are not instilled in us. Go ahead, read on. Quick, come on.
Not covetous.
Not what?
Covetous.
Yeah, not covetedness. How many of you are working on that spirit of covetedness? You know, and wrong, lustful desires for things that you can't have at this point in time. You don't need at this point in time. But you're angry because that coveted spirit is not being rewarded.
Yeah, you get depressed when you don't get certain things.
Yeah.
It's going into depression.
I know I'm going into you.
No.
Yeah, you know, but you got a lot of brothers do that a little bit. A little bit. You do that. And it's got to stop. You know, you don't feel healthy or well because you're not getting what you want. Go ahead.
One that ruleth well his own house.
Right. You got to, first, let's start with your house, buddy. You don't even know how to teach your kids. It says train up a child. You don't know how to teach them. You don't know how to talk to them. You lose patience with them. So what do you think you're going to have to do? What do you think you're going to do with the children of Israel? You see, that's why this is an important chapter. Go ahead.
Having his children in subjection.
Yeah, your children ain't in subjection. Your wife is out of order. Right? But why though? Because man dealing with milk. We gotta be able to deal with the milk before we start moving on to the meat. Go ahead.
Excuse me. With all gravity.
With all what?
Gravity.
Right. So let's jump back to Ecclesiastes 6 so we can get this question out of the way. Ecclesiastes 6. Let's finish that up. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes chapter 6 and verse 32.
So after you eradicate all the wisdom of the world, after you get taught again, right? Or come to get taught again, this is what has to happen. Read.
My son.
Read.
If thou wilt.
If thou what?
Will.
If you're willing, if you want to, go ahead.
Thou shalt be taught.
Yeah, you'll be taught. The Most High said he gives wisdom liberally. But to who? The prideful or to the humble?
To the humble.
To the humble. Go ahead.
And if thou wilt.
And if thou what?
Will.
Go ahead.
Apply thy mind.
You got to do what?
Apply thy mind.
Wait, be double-minded.
Apply thy mind.
1 minute I'm here, then the next minute I just don't know.
Apply thy mind.
You got to apply your mind to the things that you're being taught. You have to apply the knowledge. This is real wisdom. Applying. What is wisdom? Who knows? Shabbat.
The proper application of knowledge.
Right. The correct application of knowledge. Go ahead. Read.
Thou shalt be prudent.
Go ahead.
If thou love to hear.
If what?
Thou love to hear.
You want to talk over everybody because your opinion matters.
Thou love to
well,
hear.
My mama told me, and what y'all are telling me, I just don't know.
Love to hear.
Yeah, you gotta love to hear. Israel hates to hear. You hate to hear your faults. You hate to hear correction. You hate to hear exhortation. You hate to hear when you're doing right. Israel hates to hear, man. We love to turn, like the scriptures say, we turn the shoulder and we closed our ears. It's like brothers be like, nah, nigga, I'm about to pin my ear. I ain't hearing that beat. You gotta do what?
Love to hear.
One more again.
Love to hear.
I gotta hammer that. Go read.
Thou shalt receive understanding.
This is the only way you receive understanding. This is the only way the things that you thought you knew get cleared up. This is the only way all the wisdom that hits you, this is the only way you don't feel overwhelmed and bombarded with all the scriptures that get tossed at you. You gotta love to hear. This is how you get the understanding of what's being shown to you. That's first. Israel, again, don't like to hear. No, I don't want to hear that. No, I ain't trying to hear that right now. Nope, I ain't trying to talk. Nope, no. This is how we get understanding. Read.
And if thou bow down thine ears.
Wait, so you got to do what?
Bow down thine ears.
Shut up your ears.
Bow thine ears.
Yeah, what is that saying? We had Ecclesiastes chapter 32 and what? 6 and what?
Chapter 6 and verse 33, second precept.
So you got to bow your ear. So what does that mean? You got to be humble. You got to put yourself in a position of humility to receive. You got to let that knowledge distill on your ears like the dew. Like it says in Deuteronomy. Like it said in Job, he said, my wisdom will drop like the rain, and they will not speak. Give me that one. I like that one. It's in Job real quick. And it's important because it's something that he says in there. It's in Job. Hold that. It's in Job. Read it from the top. Where you at?
God.
Uh-huh.
Ecclesiastes chapter 6 and verse 32.
Go ahead.
Or verse 33.
Read verse 32.
Verse 32. My son, if thou wilt, thou shalt be taught. And if thou wilt apply thy mind, thou shalt be prudent. If thou love to hear, thou shalt receive understanding. And if thou bow thy ear.
Right, if you put yourself in the position that I don't know a damn thing, right? Because knowledge puffeth up, charity edifies.
God.
If you think you know something, you know nothing. What is it? Job, read it for me real quick.
Job chapter 38 verse 28.
Go ahead.
Hath the rain a father?
Is it? No, that's not it. No, that's not it. It's all good. It was one that went right along with it. Go ahead, read on.
Verse 34. Stand in the multitude of the elders.
My speech would drop on them like the rain and they will not speak.
Right, that's... Go ahead.
Go ahead, read.
Stand in the multitude of the elders.
Wait. I'm an Israelite keyboard, Israelite, Facebook gangster, disciple for Christ, and this Holy Spirit showed me.
Stand in the multitude of the elders.
Right. You got to learn that you got to be around the elders. Why? Because it wasn't just about them telling you. Was it just about somebody telling you how to do something?
Wow.
Because some things are learned unspoken, right?
God.
Some things you got to see. You got to see how a man interacts with his wife. You got to see how a man interacts with his children. You got to see how. You got to see how. He found it. 29:22. Yeah, you found it, right? Yeah. What is it?
Yeah. 29:22.
Yeah. Read it real quick. Watch.
Job chapter 29, verse 22.
There it is.
After my words they spake not again.
Read verse 21.
Verse 21.
Uh-huh.
Unto me men gave ear.
They did what?
Men gave ear.
Read.
And waited.
And what?
And waited.
Read.
And kept silence.
When they talked over him.
And kept silence.
Read.
At my counsel.
Go ahead.
After my words they spake not again.
You see that? You got to listen. Read on.
And my speech dropped upon them.
Yeah, because if you trying to talk over the speech, it ain't the understanding ain't gonna drop on you. It's gonna go, you know that saying, oh, it went over my head? That's what's gonna happen. It's gonna go over you. Read.
Verse 23. And they waited for me as for the rain.
Right, that's it on that. So you see, it's about listening. That's the first thing that Israel don't want to do is listen. Jump back.
God, Ecclesiastes in the Apocrypha. Chapter 6 and verse 34.
Go ahead.
Stand in the multitude of the elders.
So be around your elders. Go ahead.
And cleave unto him that is wise.
Right, pick the dummy out the bunch.
Cleave unto him that is wise.
Monkey see, monkey do.
Cleave unto him that is wise.
Right, we got another problem where weakness wants to attach to weakness. How come brothers don't run to the strength? How come sisters don't run to the strength? They always run to the one that's going to cater to their weakness. It says, be around the ones that are wise. Go ahead.
Be willing to hear every godly discourse.
Well, I only want to hear some of that, the ones that make me feel good.
Every godly discourse.
Wait, if you checking my spirit, bro, too much talking and too much talking about things ain't good all the time.
Be willing to hear every godly discourse.
Go ahead.
And let not the parables of understanding escape thee.
Yeah, you got to be willing to hear all the discourse, whether it hurts your spirit, because it's all doctrine from the Most High for reproof, for correction. So you got to be willing to hear the good and the bad and the ugly, and even the really good. Read on.
Con, verse 36. If thou seest a man of understanding, get thee betimes unto him.
Hey, run from him.
Get thee betimes unto him.
It says, get thee betimes. You need to get next to that man. You see a man, think about it. When you start a new job, you get next to the dumbest idiot. No, you go next to the cat that knows something about the job that's going to show you the ropes. No one goes next to the fool, to the lazy cat that's always getting rid up. You go and you cling next to the cat, the old dude that been there for 30 years, about to retire in the next year. You go next to him. And you say, man, show me the ropes. But how come when it comes to getting the knowledge and wisdom of the Most High, it's like, yeah, I already know. I already got that.
You know, this is very important with the sister. I know this is not a woman's class. This is a men and women's class, but with the sisters, you got to look at it and say, how come I'm still a trooper and my husband's a general or officer? What is it that I'm not doing that I got this man next to me that is teaching or leading or learning at the pace he is in? It don't even necessarily have to be a high-ranking man. It could be a man that's learning and you can see his change taking about. And you need to ask yourself, well, why am I not up to his mental standard? You know, why he's dropping all this wisdom. He has this knowledge. Why is he so sharp in the scriptures? Why is he jumping up when brothers ask for a scripture and he got it? Because your husband is always doing this. He's trying to talk to brothers, communicate with brothers about the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Now, you're saying, well, there's no sisters that are sharp like that. Right. That's why you got your husband. So you're supposed to be constantly eating off your husband, his wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and asking him questions. And saying, you know what, man? Baby, what is it? Why do you process it like this? Why do you look at things like that? You know, show me in the scriptures why you process things that way. And start to really get into this man's intellect. Then he can show you, well, let me show you. Let me break it down to you. But the problem is that this is a disease with Israel. A lot of Israelites don't want to listen. They know every damn thing. And they're not like Paul and Peter and John and the apostles. You know, Yahushua said a parable, and the multitude left off. And he looked at the apostles and said, will you leave too? Right. And they came back and said, he said, I think it was Peter, he said, where will we go? Thou hast the words of life. But it's not like that to you. It's not like that to you when you get next to your husband or a man or a brother with wisdom. It's like, yeah, whatever.
I gotta hide.
That's what you do, Ak. That's right. Your thing, Ak. That's the way you look at things. You would never know that because you don't ask. Yeah. You don't know if that's his own concept or if the wisdom of the Most High is moving him. But if you listen, if you watched him, if you were around him and you said, why'd you do that? What spiritually that made you process things that way? Then you would be getting wiser, not knowing that, oh, something is moving with this man beyond just some worldly intellect, worldly wisdom. I just had to throw that out there on that.
Yeah, go ahead, finish it up. Show us now.
For the sake of the sisters, I want to just repeat something else. A few months ago, because like you said something about how the brother is growing in the spirit and gaining rank and everything else, and he's holding the woman by the arm, kind of like, come on, let's go with me. But
right.
She doesn't. If he was a trooper and he's not doing anything, and if he sees that he's doing something and she doesn't start doing the same thing with him,
yeah,
then the brother is going to have to let go of the arm and just let her stay in the back.
He's going to have to, because what he ends up doing is dragging her.
Dead weight.
And it becomes like she's looking at him like, why are you pressuring me? It's like how we have to do with a lot of brothers and sisters. You know, when it comes to the wisdom, it's like, okay, we're like, yeah, you can do this, come on, you do. And the brothers, he's like, he don't want that.
No, I can't.
No, I can't. No, I don't. I don't want to do that. Come. Then we got to step off and say, okay, we did what Christ said do, which is teach him, motivate him, be an example to him, right? But if he come out and look at you and like, yeah, I don't want that. We got to step back and say, okay, maybe it's not for him. But when you start dragging people, that's when it becomes forced, right? So yeah, you can't drag your rib, you can't drag nobody. But at the same time, that other individual has to realize that, okay, listen, brother, we took the steps what the Bible says. Now you told us to step off. Don't get angry when we step off. You see that? Your rib can't get angry because she's not growing, because she's not seeing. And well, you don't teach me because every time I do, you combat. Well, we don't talk because when I talk, I want to talk about the wisdom, and you don't want to come up to my level. See, you've already separated yourself, so it just can't be that way. You know, you can't pull in. Remember, 2 Ezra 7. and 1 on down says that this entrance to the kingdom is a narrow path. Only one can go at a time. So that means that you can either get behind me or in front of me. You can't get on my shoulder. We can't squeeze in together. You got to walk behind me or in front of me. And it doesn't matter if you walk behind or front, because even though you're in front now, sometimes that brother will be in front of you, right? But even though you're in the back, it ain't got nothing to do with that. It's not to the swift, but to the one that endures to the end. So yeah.
But you got to walk that path. You can't be drugged down. You can't be drugged down that path.
Yeah, you can't.
Your husband can't.
It's only so much time to where he can be a crutch to you. You know, he got to be the spiritual man and lighten your spirit up. And what the scriptures say, after a certain time, he's going to have to say, okay, you got to do this on your own now. You got to walk on your own. Because we're two individuals serving Yahweh Shai. So, you know, yeah.
Finish that up.
Good point.
And let thy foot wear the steps of his door.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. You're supposed to be hitting brothers. If you're the sister learning, trying to get the wisdom, you're supposed to be hitting up sisters. You're supposed to wear the footsteps. Wear out that phone. Wear out that phone. Don't be so quick to run. You know what the problem is? A lot of y'all don't want to get checked. Y'all don't want to be shown that the wisdom that you come with is wrong.
Right.
You don't want that wisdom that old man eradicated. So what do? I'm just not gonna come around so nobody can tell me nothing.
Right, right.
I'm gonna just chill over here, and guess what? I can't be told. I'm gonna intermingle and mingle with all the foolish thinking. I'm gonna let that be my thing. No, you're good.
For like women, we don't want to go to the right person because then we have to change.
Right.
Because like I just dealt with that. I was dealing with something that I knew I needed to talk to one specific person, but I didn't, and someone was like, talk to her. So I talked to her, and then she was like, sis, what you gotta do? So once I talked to her, I was like, oh, okay, but I didn't do that because you know that if you go to that person, you have to change.
Yeah, they're going to say something that you're going to be accountable for.
Right. You're going to have, yeah.
Just on that point, my favorite scripture, John 3:17. Yeah, this is my favorite.
He was there.
And this is our path. This is the Israelite man's path. If you can't walk this path, you're none of Christ. Period, point blank.
And you see how easy it is, or how hard it is to get wisdom if you let it? It ain't just read the Bible and you're endowed. It don't work.
It takes work.
It takes work. It takes dedication. It takes discipline. It ain't just, oh, I learned on you. Why do you think a lot of the bros that learn on YouTube, they don't last long.
They don't last long. They're not serious. It's not a real dedication. It's a fad.
They're still mixing the wisdom of the world and the wisdom of the Bible. You're still smoking weed but trying to teach. I seen a cat on Facebook trying to teach, but he got the damn cigarette in his profile pic. I'm like, bruh, stop.
Yeah.
You can't be a teacher like that. But why? Because there's no one around to show him, okay, we got to put down the cigarettes. Look, let's deal with the balance of the Bible and the actual wisdom of the Bible. You got that?
Yeah, John 3:17.
St. John chapter 3 and verse 17.
Go ahead.
For the Most High sent not his Son into the world to condemn the world.
Right, because when Yahweh Shai put his foot on the ground the first time, it was not to bring judgment. It wasn't to do that. Right? Y'all get that, right?
Good.
Go ahead.
But that through the world, but that the world through him might be saved.
Right, so that was the point, to save Israel. That's why he came. Go ahead.
Verse 18.
I know that y'all saying, Khan, I get that, but you don't get it because a lot of Israelites don't understand that our job right now is the word of salvation. Right. We're raising people. We're not here to condemn people. We're here to give them the word of salvation. Go ahead.
He that believeth on him is not condemned.
Right.
But he that believeth not is condemned already.
Right, because you got to believe in Yahweh Shai, because Yahweh Shai came to do the will of the Father, and the Father sent him, right?
God.
So if you don't believe on the messenger, you don't believe on the one that sent him. Period, point blank. Go ahead.
Because he hath not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of the Most High. And this is the condemnation.
Right, so this is the condemnation. Go ahead.
That light is coming to the world.
See, the light is the revealing. The light is the purging and the cleansing. It's that flashlight. You're in the dark room. You're dirty. You know what I mean? You're filthy. Whatever sin is taking hold of you, and then the brother or sister puts the flashlight on you, right? And it reveals what is filth about you, what is dirt about you, right? That's why they don't do it. This is why a lot of people prefer the seclusive type. You know, no, I'll do it this way. Why? Because when I go around, I'm going to get that light on me, and they want to run from that light. They don't want to be revealed. It's easy that way, right?
God.
Go ahead.
And men love darkness.
Because why?
Men loved darkness.
I don't care what you say, what type of excuse you use, bro. The scriptures tell you the method, right? They don't want the flashlight on them because they like darkness. They don't want to be seen. They don't want to be revealed. They don't want to be checked. And that's a lot of times why they won't run and wear out the doorstep. Because they already know he's going to tell me something I'm going to have to be accountable for. That's why they don't want to deal with the prophets. Right? Because they were going to be accountable for what was said, and the Most High was going to judge them for that. Go ahead.
Rather than light.
See, they want to deal with the darkness rather than the light, the revealing. Go ahead.
Because their deeds were evil.
Because their deeds were evil. Go ahead.
For everyone that doeth evil hateth the light.
They hate that light. They hate to be revealed. They hate to be seen. It's witches and warlocks and vampires, right? I'm only at night, right? But
Batman,
right? Because the wisdom is going to reveal me. Yeah, Batman, the demon. Go ahead. Go ahead.
God. Neither cometh to the light.
Yeah, they ain't rushing to the light. They ain't like, yeah, wear out the doorsteps. I'm gonna apply that one. But they running away from the doorsteps. They're running away from the one that's going to tell them. I'm going to go to the person that's going to tell me what I want to hear. Right? Isaiah 30, the smooth things, the sweet things. Right? Because those people are going to be the one that I can ease in that way. But that's the problem with religion. That's the problem with what we were in church.
I need an ego boost.
Yeah.
I need somebody to boost my ego and not show me where I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Being shown when you're wrong, that's an ego boost also. You're supposed to bring you to a certain level to bring you back up. If done right. I mean,
absolutely.
Right.
But for some people, nothing's going to be right.
Right, because the Bible is all about correction.
Yeah, the Bible's about correction, and you're always telling me that I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I guess I'm just so filthy and dirty. And you got to remind them there's no condemnation in that. It's just to reveal and to cleanse you. But this is why they're not going to run to the elder. They're not going to wear out the doorsteps a lot of times. Just like you just said, Shawashana. You didn't want to go. Why? Because you wanted to wallow in your mire for that moment. And you know when you went to that sister, what she was going to say. Right. But here's the thing. Nobody can force you. Nobody can hold you down. Nobody can put a gun to your head. See, but also know that you're going to... That mind state can put you in the wrong mode. And you could be waiting too long, or you could be resistant at the wrong time. And that could bring death and destruction on you. When you were needed to be told, and you didn't, you can end up in a bad place. Right? Go ahead.
Least his deeds should be reproved.
You see this? This is really what it's about. He don't want to be revealed because his deeds are going to be reproved. Her deeds are going to be reproved. So why isn't she running to her husband? Baby, please, shine the light on me. Darling, my dear husband, please, I need some correction to be enlightened so when Yahushai comes, I can be clean before his eyes. Right, that sounds so sweet and righteous, huh? Please, my husband, teach me. Why? Because she don't want her deeds to be reproved. Go ahead.
Verse 21. But he that doeth truth cometh to the light.
See? If you're really about the Most High, if you're really about truth, you're supposed to be running to that wisdom, not trying to hide, like he said, behind the keyboard, behind I got an excuse. You're supposed to be getting closer. Listen, what will you do if Yahweh Shai was there. No, don't say it. I don't even want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Stop. I want them to really marinate in that in their mind. Oh, if it was Yahweh Shai, but you're not Yahweh Shai. Well, then you err not knowing the scriptures then. You err not knowing the scriptures then. See, but if it was Yahweh Shai, how many of you would be sleeping at his doorstep?
On his bosom.
Bruh.
On his chest.
Bruh.
In my very minute.
Bruh.
Show me my wrongs.
Right. Bruh. If it was Yahweh Shai, you would be
chastised. Lord.
Yeah.
You'd be begging for that chastisement.
But that was the believers. The believers were right there at Yahweh Shai's doorstep. Go to Ecclesiastes 39, verse 1 real quick.
Ecclesiastes chapter 39 and verse 1.
Oh, Ecclesiastes 39 and 1. Read that.
But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High.
Go ahead.
Is occupied in the meditation thereof.
See, a lot of times you don't want to be revealed because you're not occupied in those things. They just plain out don't interest you. It's not interesting. Yep. You know, and every time you're talking about it, every time you rap, it's like, could we talk about something else, baby? No. Because everything, I just came out of something else. I'm going to start saying that a lot more. Y'all got to stop acting like you need a break. Stop it. You just came out of 25 years of niggerism. Stop acting like, whoo, I need a vacation. From what? To go right back into what niggerism you were doing? Stop doing that. Stop psyching yourself out. Who y'all brothers get down. Y'all busy all the time. Come on. Because we had 35 years of drugs, hoes, guns and butter.
What?
Guns and butter.
Guns and butter. Facts.
Right?
Guns.
So stop acting like, man.
Like I'm so tired.
Yeah, I'm so tired of what? You had 2 years of consistency. 2 years of diligence. You've been in the truth for 7. That means you had 2 of diligence because the other 5 you were still messing around trying to be in the world. Y'all gotta look at your mind and stop playing so many damn comical games with yourself. It's comical. You know what I mean? Vacation from what? Did Yahweh Shai take a vacay?
Lie.
Everybody quiet as hell, right? Read on, right? Let them stay damn quiet. I don't care. Go ahead, read on.
We'll seek out the
emotional. Go ahead.
We'll seek out the wisdom.
Well, what?
Seek out the wisdom.
We'll do what?
Seek out the wisdom.
Yeah, it said we just seek out the wisdom, man. You were supposed to be wearing out the doorsteps of the wise. Once again, if you knew Yahweh Shai was coming back next week, what'd you be saying? Would you be talking about vacay? Time out? I need a break? I need a breather? No, hell no. You've been at every apostle's door.
You be cramming like it's the finals. You be on the no-dos like you was in college.
Yeah, bro. Stop it.
No-dos and coffee.
Just stop. Just stop it. Do what the scriptures are saying. Do y'all believe what we're reading?
God.
Does it make sense?
God.
Okay, read.
We'll seek out the wisdom of all the ancients.
Read.
And be occupied in the prophecy.
Right. Be occupied in the prophecy. Well, what about my life? My life this is our life. Everything else is secondary. This is our life. Right? Now, I understand some of y'all just want to be church members. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to move past that, you understand? Some of you want to just be church members. Come. But if you want to be 1 Timothy 3, a bishop, a leader, a teacher, an example, you got to move past that. Okay? What?
What about when you feel the monotony kicking in?
The scriptures is telling us, it's going to tell us about monotony, and I'm not going to take it all the way off. Go ahead.
Jump back over to Ecclesiastes.
No, read. No.
Verse 2.
He
will keep the saints.
He will do what?
Keep the saints.
Read.
Of the renowned men.
Right.
And where subtle parables are, he will be there also.
This is what it means. He's wearing out the doorstep. He want to be around those subtle parables. He want to be around wisdom. He want to listen. He want to hear. He want to watch. Yeah, that's what Max is doing. Young brother, watching the good, throwing away the bad. right? He's coveting the best gifts. He's watching, eating it all up. Go ahead.
Because if monotony is kicking in, then you're really saying you know everything.
Yeah, monotony means boredom, right?
Yeah, I'm bored.
Bored.
I'm tired of the same routine.
So you got it. You got it. When it comes to lust, you mastered that. You mastered the power over your lust. Pride, you mastered that. Envy, you mastered that. Like, what are you talking about? What monotony? Through much tribulation, we shall enter into the kingdom of the Most High. The monotony of tribulation, enter into the kingdom. Right?
The monotony of doing the same, rehearsing the righteous acts.
Right, ministering to the saints.
To the saints.
The monotony of it. Well, all we do is what? Garments and charitable works and feed the priests and feed the brothers and what else are you going to be doing?
Take care of our families, take care of the house.
How many of y'all feel monotony from your job?
And you've been there 1,000 years.
You feel monotony for your job. Did you quit? Why not? It's monotonous. Now, listen. Let me say this, because we know there's some freelancers here. We know there's some guys and women that will just, yep, I'm done with this job. Throw on your backpack and quit, right? But they have no stability. They haven't learned stability in the world. They haven't learned how to be a man, be a person in the world that can deal with their things in the worldly life. So how much more when they get the will and service of the Most High? So you need stability in that. What my point is that nobody's saying, you know what, I'm bored of this job. I'm going to quit. Hell no. You got to pay those bills. You thinking about that light bill and that phone bill, right? And do you quit? Nope. You sit there and stomach it, suffer through it, and you fight for it, right? Because you need your bills paid. See the motivation for money? See the motivation for money and the carnal things? See, but why is it the wisdom motivating you like that? Why is it the love and dedication motivating you like that? Why? Because where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Go ahead.
God, verse 3. He will seek out the secrets of the grave sentences.
Yeah, you're supposed to be seeking out the secrets of the grave sentences. Like we were saying the other day, a brother was having an issue with his rib, and it really needed to be dealt with. And we were saying, bro, when are you going to talk to your rib? She's on the borderline of jumping off the bridge. Why are you going to movies with her when she needs to be dealt with and talked to? You're not understanding that the time was supposed to be put in, not in movies. See, you're thinking carnal things. The world has taught you the carnal is going to solve it. We're going to go to a movie, we're going to sip a beer, and then we're going to play it off like it's being fixed. And it's never fixed.
We're going to dip our hand in the popcorn, look each other in the
yeah.
eyes, we're going to be good.
And everything's going to be right. You're going to go home, you're going to make love in Hebrew, and then everything's going to be good. Right? Go ahead.
And be conversant in dark parables.
Right, be conversant in the dark parables. You're not going to be able to do that. Going back to this brother or sister's question, whoever asked online, you're not going to be conversant in dark parables if you're not giving yourself over to the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Do I have to go through it again and say how long you've been in the truth and then how many years you've been in the world? So stop coming with that mind of the monotony is killing me. The monotony and doing the truth is killing me. Then maybe you ain't chosen then. Maybe this is not for you. Go ahead.
Verse 4. He shall serve among great men.
Right.
And appear before princes.
Right. And that's what we're working for. We're working to serve amongst great men. When the 144,000 are there, we are hoping that if we do this, right, we can sit up there with Yahweh Shai. Go ahead.
He will travel through strange countries.
Let's sit on that. Go ahead.
Finish 37 real quick in Ecclesiastes 6.
Verse 37.
Go ahead.
Let thy mind be upon the ordinances of the Lord.
Right, read.
And meditate continually.
He jumped the gun, but meditate continually, like we just read about, the meditation. If you meditate continually on the dark parables, on the sayings, on the way brothers and sisters do things, on the examples of the Bible, there is no boredom, there is no monotony. There's, damn, I don't have enough. I need more. Right? More, please. How's it go? Read.
Thank you, sir. Can I have another?
Right.
Thank you, sir. Can I have another?
Read on.
Boredom means you don't have a vision.
Yeah.
Where there's no vision, the people perish, because that's where boredom comes in. Think about it. You've been in the truth. How long? You know the truth 5 years, right?
Yeah.
You've been actually putting in work how long?
A month and a half.
Right. Okay, a month and a half, right? If he said he's bored, then that means that he's gained all the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding within a month and a half. Not.
Right. Possible.
That's not possible, right?
Wow.
So really, what are you bored of? What makes you bored? What makes you bored of the truth?
Being stagnant.
Being stagnant. What else? Come on, we're just gonna get this one out of the way real quick. Sharad.
Not being interested.
Not being interested.
But in what though? Like
that's it.
In what?
In the spirit. In the spirit.
I want them to answer.
Yeah. What? Sharad. Sharad.
Lack of interest in what though? What is it that we do?
Well, it says here that the repetition and routine. So you don't like routine. You want to live life and just do different things every day. And in this life, you don't do the same thing every time.
Yeah. But that's what's keeping you safe.
Exactly.
Listen, even in the world, you do the same things every day.
Right.
You went to the same garbage club. You went to work. And then every Thursday you went to ladies' night, and then Friday you went to this night. Saturday you went to this night. You got drunk. Then you did it all. You had it on repeat.
Yeah.
So it was just wickedness that you were doing on repeat. Like, I mean, come on, man, y'all playing games if you think that the world ain't monotonous.
Yeah.
It's monotonous. Because now you got that damn weight around your neck telling you have to do this. You have to do that. So you have monotony in the world. Now you at least can say, well, I'm building something. There's a different type of growth. There's a different type of it's that spiritual growth. We got to see that. What's that? Finish it up.
Done. And meditate continually in his commandments. Mm-hmm. He shall establish thine heart.
He shall what?
Establish thine heart.
Yeah, it's going to get rid of that boredom and that monotony, that want to run, that want to flee. You gotta, if you read back up in the chapter, you got to become that prisoner to wisdom. But what is it? What are you when Paul said he was a prisoner, what was he a prisoner to? He was a prisoner to doing things in the order that the Yahushua laid it down. He was a prisoner to what? Doing things not the way he wanted, not being able to be a free spirit and go freelance here one day. He wasn't a contractor. Like 1 minute I'm over here, then that's over, then the next minute I'm over here, then that's over, then the next minute I'm over here. No, he had to stick to one thing.
The word is institutionalized.
He was institutionalized?
He became institutionalized in the work. So,
yeah.
like it said in the scriptures, that they addicted themselves to the ministry.
Mm-hmm.
That's to basically ultimately become institutionalized. That's where. That's all you know. There is no stepping past the gun line. That's, you know what I mean?
Well, that's the whole point about learning the wisdom of the Most High. You got to eradicate what you thought you knew. See, a lot of us don't do that. We don't let go of what we learned for your whole 25, 30 years. That's where the battle comes in. That's where, I need to be free. But you weren't free in the world. You weren't no damn free spirit. Stop. You were tied down to a job. You were tied down to some man you didn't like. You were tied down to some chick that was bullying you. You were tied down to your mama, your daddy, your family. You were tied down to something that you were like, man, this ain't good for my soul. Yep. Even a job. Come on, how monotonous is a job? You wake up at the same time, you drive for the same amount of time, you get there, you clock in, you sit down, you type the same crap, talk to the same people, take the same lunch break, leave at the same time, deal with the same traffic. And then you go home and watch the same TV shows week after week. So, it's a mind game that we play on ourselves, but you got to see what wisdom does.
It says, and we can get the scripture, it says they do it for a corruptible crown. Right, we do it for incorruptible. So yeah, it's, the idea of monotony is at humanity. You're going to get that monotonous, but what is supposed to take us past that mentality? There's not supposed to be any boredom in the truth. Why? Because you're constantly moving in a mission, in a goal, in a way to increase in whatever it is your vision is. So you always have to have a vision. So yeah.
I also think that monotony comes in when you don't love what you're doing, because my job is so monotonous that I have templates for everything. So I do the same thing, but I like it because it's 10 minutes away. I get up at 5. I don't have to work weekends, so it's not boring to me.
Right.
I don't have to, nothing new every day. The same day, same thing.
Makes it easy.
10 minutes, go in there, typing it in, template.
See, but that's not your battle. See, what there's other people that their battles are they gotta keep brand new things in their life.
But I would just say mostly that if you don't love what you're doing, then it's gonna be monotonous regardless.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's true. It's true. Yeah.
And also, along with Tawashma's point, my favorite scripture, whatever you do unto the Lord, not unto man.
Right.
When you're doing this work and you know who you're doing it for, then you do gain that love for doing it, and it makes you want to do it more because you know who you're doing it for.
Right. Your labor of love.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say this: if monotony's hitting you, that means you don't fear what Satan is trying to do to you. It says a wise man foreseeth the evil. If you're monotonous, if you're bored, then you forgot that Satan's like a roaring lion looking at who he can devour. That he's right there waiting for you to just keep in that boredom, to keep in that mind that I don't have to be diligent, I don't have to be sober, I don't have to be vigilant. Because the opposite of vigilance is monotony, basically. When you're vigilant, you're out there. You're like, oh, what can I do? How can I prevent? How can I make this happen? How can I do that? How can I do that? But monotony is just like, how you doing? Just taking it one day at a time. I'm going to just let everything come to me and deal with it as it comes.
Dry bones.
Yeah. So, it's really, if you're feeling that monotonous spirit, just look back on your life before the truth. I don't care if you went to college. I don't care if you worked a job. It was all monotony. It was all some type of
Institutionalized.
It was all some form of being institutionalized. Institutionalization. That's the word I was looking for.
Institutionalization.
At some point.
God.
All right. Is that it? Read this, finish it, so we could be done and we gonna jump into class.
God. He shall establish.
Go ahead.
He shall establish thine heart.
Right. He's gonna establish your heart if you hold to the wisdom. Read.
And give thee wisdom.
And give you what?
Wisdom.
You see that? All these things do what?
Give thee wisdom.
The whole hour and a half we've been hitting through this, it does what?
Give thee wisdom.
Read.
At thine own desire.
Yeah, this is going to be at your desire, but all these things have to happen. You can't desire wisdom and then not do all the things we went through. Not humble yourself and then be like, well, see, the Bible don't work. That's what brothers do. Well, I showed up to class 4 or 5 times and I just ain't getting it. Well, did you listen? Did you bow your ear? Did you ask more questions? He'll give it to you at your own desire.
You had actually said it before I got a chance to say, but that's what the disciples did. After Yahushua dropped the deep parables, and then they walked, or the multitude left, the disciples, they were there getting more understanding. What does that mean? What does that mean? Well, why did you say it like this? Well,
they were getting the understanding.
They were getting the understanding. But
right.
But they were so focused on getting the understanding, and that's why they were able to become the apostles.
Yeah, were they in monotony mode and for the whole 3 years they were rolling with Christ?
Can I get this one just on the monotony thing real quick, and then we can jump past it?
Where you at?
Proverbs 18:2.
Proverbs chapter. Look where I'm at.
Proverbs 18:2.
You gotta read verse 1.
Proverbs chapter 18, and start at verse 1?
Verse 1. Verse 1.
Proverbs chapter 18 and verse 1. Through desire a man, having separated himself.
See, when a man desires something, right now, the context that he's speaking of is in a negative context. So this man desires something. Go ahead.
Having separated himself.
He's going to separate himself to what he desires. You see that?
God.
So now we can use it both, good and bad. We know that if he desires the word, he's going to separate himself for the word, right?
God.
Go ahead.
Seeketh and intermeddleth with all wisdom.
See, but the negative aspect is that you got a lot of people that they can't make their mind stable So they start messing with all type of wisdom. They start dabbing it into so many things, and I'm going to take a little of Hare Krishna. I'm going to take a little bit of the Muslims. I'm going to take a little bit of that Kundalini. I'm going to take a little bit of this. I'm going to take a little bit of the Israelites, and I'm going to mesh them all together. He meddleth with all wisdom. He's not stable. Watch. Go ahead.
Verse 2. A fool hath no delight in understanding.
You see? Because he's not dealing with no true understanding. He just wants to say he's smart in everything. He's not dealing with no true understanding. He hasn't studied one and been consistently in that for his life. Because he's a fool. Go ahead.
But that his heart may discover itself.
That's what he's looking for. He's looking for the thing that he's never going to find. He's trying to discover himself, but he's never going to find it because he's a fool. He's always going to all the wrong things to intermeddle with instead of seeking the Most High. And where do they end up? How many people end up more worse intermeddling with all type of wisdom?
God.
Right? They try to match everything up and then take a little bit of this and that, and it leaves them more chaotic and more confused. So read 2 again.
A fool hath no delight in understanding.
You see, he's a what?
A fool.
Go ahead.
Hath no delight in understanding.
So you got to have a vision. You can't be intermeddling with. You can't. Either you're here to do the work, to enjoy the work, to be the work, to be what Christ said, or if not, something else is going to easily catch your attention. Right? Now imagine that as a woman and a man. If your relationship is not interesting, what happens? Somebody can come quick, right? Sancho Man can, Captain Sancho, he can come out of nowhere and do what? Right, he can swoop her. Oh, I'm not in. This is not exciting no more. He can come and swoop her away out of nowhere because it's not interesting no more. So you got to watch that spirit of I'm not interested. I'm bored.
With some flowers and a value meal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that simple.
Big value meal.
Sancho Man. Listen, is that it?
God.
That's it. Let's get into this class. 1 hour.
Do you want that one in me?
No, there was not another one. Let's get into it.
Yeah. So just showing you, just like what we're talking about here tonight, about the different things that we have to give up, right? And the different things to get closer to the Most High. This is what Yahweh Shai gave up. These are the things that Yahweh Shai had to say to himself, I got to leave that behind. Right? Now, Yahweh Shai, was he like me and you?
God.
Somebody said no. Somebody said no. Was Yahweh Shai like me and you?
God.
Khan, go there. Go to Hebrews real quick. Oh, wow, I flipped right to it. Hebrews 2:17. Go to Hebrews 2:17. No. We're going to come right back.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Hebrews chapter 2 and verse 17.
Go ahead.
Wherefore in all things it behooved him to be made like unto his brethren.
So Yahweh Shai was just like me and you. It behooved him. It behooved the Most High to bring him, send him down through Mary, through the sperm of Joseph. Through the sperm of Joseph, and create him to come into this world. Not a demigod, but a man just like me and you. Go ahead.
That he might be a miracle and faithful.
Wait, miracle?
So like merciful. Merciful and faithful high priest in things pertaining to the Most High.
Go ahead.
To make reconciliation for the sins of the people.
Go ahead.
For in that he himself hath suffered being tempted.
See, this is how you know that he was a man. He was in this mortal flesh. Go ahead.
He is able to secure them that are tempted.
Why is he able to secure us? Because you cannot say that Yahweh Shai was a demigod and he was a power and he had power to get out of it and not do it and
He was an angel, so
he was an angel, right?
So none of that hurt.
Yeah, yeah.
He didn't feel that.
Those whoops.
He didn't feel that.
The crowns.
Yeah, he was
the spit upon.
He was in the spirit, so he didn't feel that. He was a spiritual being, so
exactly.
He was a hybrid. That's what they tried to say. Like, he was a hybrid. He was God himself. He didn't feel the lashes, the crown of thorns, the vinegar. None of that mattered because he didn't feel things like regular human. He wasn't a regular human. So if y'all don't know, we going into the class.
Yes.
How did Christ get his crown? How did Yahushua gain his crown? But we first understand that he was fashioned as a man.
Yeah.
Right now, what did this crown have to do with? Well, and we're gonna jump back to where I was going to start.
Yeah.
But what did Yahushua gain by going through all that he went through? Who knows? What did he gain? Where is he?
Eternal life.
Right.
He got to sit on the right side of the right-handed side of the Most High.
He got to do what?
He got to sit on the right-handed side of the Most High.
1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 22.
God.
No, I already got it.
Yeah, he's just trying to spit it out. No. We only got an hour out. 1 Peter chapter 1 verse 1. 1 Peter 3 and verse 22.
God. 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 22.
Go ahead.
Who is gone into heaven?
Right.
And is on the right hand of Yahweh.
Well, it's not a lot of people. Go ahead, read.
Angels and authorities and powers being made subject unto him.
Right. So all the things that Yahushua went through, this was one of the rewards, right? Or two of the rewards. He got to sit at the right. He's currently sitting at the right hand of the Most High, right?
God.
And all things are going to be put under him. He's going to have dominion. Y'all understand that?
God.
Go to Romans 8 and 34 real quick. I'm not going to go too fast, but I'm going to just a couple of scriptures just showing that where Yahushua is and that he has that dominion.
Hey, there's 5 brothers in the class, so pick up some scriptures.
God.
What was that last one just?
That we just read?
Yeah, that we just read.
1 Peter 3 and verse 22. So you can put this is Yahushua sitting at the right hand of the Most High. Okay? For all the things that he did. You know, what was Yahushua? What was he? What was he to the apostles? Excuse me.
Teacher.
He was a teacher. What else?
Leader.
A leader, an example, right? Now, he was an example to us also, right? To be what?
Teachers.
Teachers, leaders, right? Not just men, women, children. So all these things that Yahushua did was as a teacher, as a leader, as an example for us to do the same thing. So what we're going to go through is show what did he have to give up to be a leader? What did he have to give up and do to be followed and be respected? To not be that hypocrite, to not be that Israelite that 1 minute I'm gung-ho, the next minute is like, I don't know, y'all. I don't know, brothers. We ain't going to make it through. What did he have to give up? What did he have to become? What did he have to do? So that's what we're going to go through, but we're first showing, and we're kind of doing it a little backwards. We're showing his reward. He sat at the right hand of the Most High, but he was given that dominion over all things. So read that, Romans 8:34.
Romans chapter 8, verse 34.
Go ahead.
Who is he that condemneth?
Right, that's a question. Read on.
It is Christ that died.
It is who?
It is Christ that died.
Because he's the only one that has that power. Read on.
Yea, rather, that is risen again.
Go ahead.
Who is even at the right hand of Yahweh.
Yeah, he's at the right hand of Yahweh. Go ahead.
Who also maketh intercession for us.
Right, and while he's there, he makes that intercession for us. We know that Satan is the accuser, and Yahushua, Satan is the prosecutor. Yahushua is the defense attorney. Satan comes with the accusations, and Yahushua is like, no. He's making that intercession. He's that mediator. Go to Mark 16:19. Mark 16 and 19. And this is real important because, you know, again, we look at Yahushua as, or some, you know, they teach us, oh, he was a god, so he didn't go through nothing really, or he had the advantage, or we're at a disadvantage, but we're not. Else, we wouldn't have to see all this. We wouldn't have to see all the things he went through if it was at our disadvantage. What would be the point? for us to see all the things that Yahushua went through as a leader, as a brother, what would be the point to use those things if he was an angel? How would it help us? It wouldn't. It would really give us an excuse, right? Like, see, I can't do that because I'm not an angel. But these things are important. We're gonna look at some very important character traits, excuse me, and it's gonna show you that real, true leadership. Read where you at.
Mark chapter 16 and verse 19. So then, after the Lord had spoken unto them,
right,
he was received up into heaven.
Right, so if you read up in the chapter, this is when Yahushua was risen, right, the resurrection, and he appeared himself to Mary Magdalene, and they didn't believe. So it said after he spoke to everybody, he showed himself to the apostles. What happened?
He was received up into heaven.
Go ahead.
And sat down, and sat on the right hand of the Most High.
Right, and he sat down at the right hand of the Most High. Go to Colossians 3:1. See, and you know, the scriptures is basically repeating itself, but I'm trying to get to a point. Colossians chapter 3 and verse 1.
God. Colossians chapter 3, verse 1.
Go ahead.
If ye then be risen with Christ.
Right, if Christ is your example, if Yahushua is the way that we should walk, if we're risen in him, put off the old man, put on the new man that is renewed in the knowledge of Christ. Go ahead.
Seek those things which are above.
The same way Yahushua sought those things that were above, we got to look at what he was looking at. We got to walk the way he walked. Go ahead.
Where Christ sitteth on the right hand of God.
Read.
Set your affection on things above. Not on things on the earth.
Right. So we're understanding that Yahushua sits at the right hand of the Most High because of the way he carried himself, because of the things that he did while he walked on the earth.
Like it says there, he set his affections on the things above. You know, we were just talking about that. Is that, you know, what kept him enthusiastic? What kept him motivated? Because he knew he was going to sit on the right hand of the Most High. That all the angels, both in heaven and in earth, were going to bow to him. That's what we're fighting for. That's what's going to constantly push you and motivate you. Yeah. Huh? Yeah, he knew that. Yes. Now, when you say, repeat that again, so I won't miss.
Before he came as a human being down to earth, did the Most High say you're going to get this?
Yeah. Now, did the Most High tell you that?
No.
Yes, he did. He told us all that.
No, I'm saying did the Most High tell me that he's of Christ? I just don't know if Christ knew that after that he was going to get that, or if he knew before he came down that he was going to get that.
Well, he knew that because, in the way we know he knew that, is because it was already promised when you go to the Old Testament. That's going to take us off his class, but when you go through the Old Testament, it was already promised from him. The scriptures that are quoted were before Christ even came down. Okay, so when you read these scriptures on him being set at the right hand of the Most High, these are prophecies that was prophesied through David through the Old Testament. Right? The angels bowing down to him, that was already prophesied in the Old Testament. So it was already through the Spirit speaking through David what was going to be given and happen to Yahushua. So did he know? Yeah. Did we know? Khan, did the apostles know? Yes. We all know because the Most High wanted the earth to know who was the Mashiach, who was the Savior. You see that?
And we're going to hit it.
Yeah, we're going to hit on it.
That's the point.
But I was just trying to, without going off the topic way off, as we hit those scriptures, keep in mind, this was, a lot of them were in the Old Testament that was quoted.
Yeah, go to Psalms 8 and verse 6. So, Yahushua was set up on the right hand of the Most High and given dominion. Right? So go to Psalms 8 and verse 6.
Psalms chapter 8 verse 6. Thou madest him to have dominion over the works
Go ahead.
of thy hand.
Read.
thou hast put all things under his feet.
Right, speaking of Yahweh Shai, this was David,
right,
said earlier,
exactly.
He's prophesying that this was going to happen.
This was way before Yahweh Shai. So if David knew, did not Yahweh Shai know? Yeah, Yahweh Shai knew. He knew what his mission was.
Daniel knew.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit that, but go to Hebrews. Go to Hebrews 2:8. Just showing about that dominion. What's up? What's up?
I was gonna say, like, I was gonna bring up Daniel. You know, like Daniel 7:9. He said the Son of Man went to the ancient days.
Right, we're gonna go there.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're gonna go there. You're right on point. Daniel 7:13. Somebody else can get that. Hebrews 2 and verse 8. If I'm going too fast, just let me know. I just want to get these first couple out. Go ahead.
Hebrews chapter 2 verse 8.
Read.
Thou hast put all things in subjection under his feet.
Right.
For in that he put all in subjection under him.
Right. So everything is in subjection under Yahweh Shai. Go ahead.
He left nothing that is not put under him.
Go ahead.
But now we see not yet all things put under him.
Yeah, so, but not yet. Because if everything was under if everything was put under his subjection, if he was here ruling, the world wouldn't be the way it is. I mean, y'all know scripture, right?
Right.
So things are going to be in subjection, but not yet. When Yahweh Shai comes and stomp them out, stomp out those nations, then everything is going to be put under the subjection of Yahweh Shai, Israel. We're going to be ruling the earth. Go to Daniel 7:13. See, even Daniel prophesied of Yahweh Shai and his dominion and him sitting on the right hand of the Most High. Go ahead.
Daniel chapter 7 and verse 13.
Read.
I saw in the night vision, and behold, one like the Son of Man.
Where Yahweh Shai, go ahead.
Came with the clouds of heaven.
Him and those angels, read.
And came to the Ancient of Days.
Came to the Most High, read on.
And they brought him near before him.
Read.
And there was given him dominion.
He got dominion, go ahead.
And glory.
Read.
And a kingdom.
Read.
That all people.
Read.
Nations. And languages. Should serve him.
Right, so like it says in Hebrews, but now we see not yet all things put under him. He don't have the dominion over all the nations, all the languages, all the tongues. Right? We're not at that point where every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess. We're going to get there. Go ahead, read on.
His dominion is an everlasting dominion.
Right? Read.
Which shall not pass away.
Now, let me say this. The point is, how did he get all this? You know, I'm not going to jump. I'm just... Remember, all these things that we're reading about, all this greatness and power, and everybody bowing to him, and nations being destroyed, how did he get this?
Yeah, why him?
Yeah.
What made him so, like, what made Jesus so great? What made Yahweh Shai so great? Who knows? What y'all think?
Because he was human and he didn't give in to the temptation. He didn't allow himself to fall to his flesh.
Right? But what was it that he was supposed
your
to
brothers
fall
can
to?
answer too. We know the sisters are wise, but
yeah.
When he was young, he studied.
Yeah.
He went, studied and applied himself.
Right. That was one thing he taught in the synagogues when he was young. He studied. He applied. What else?
I was gonna say, for honor and humility, he was humble.
He was humble, right?
But I mean, just thinking on other brothers in the scriptures, whenever they gained what Christ gained, the Most High, he proved them. He put them through certain things. So,
right? He had to go through certain things.
Yeah, I look at Joseph. Joseph went through his brothers doing what they did to him, and he gained that. I look at David. Before David gained what he gained, he had to go through Saul.
Jacob, he had to deal with Esau.
Jacob dealt with Esau.
Right.
So, I mean, the list goes on and on. So, all these brothers, for them to gain what they gained, they went through certain things, but they were Job, same thing with Job. They went through what they went through, but they went through it, and it showed their humility,
Mm-hmm.
and it showed a lot of other things as well.
Their integrity.
Got it.
Right? Go ahead, read on. That's a perfect point. Read on.
Which shall not pass away.
Go ahead.
And his kingdom, that which shall not be destroyed.
Go to Hebrews 1:1. Now, you know, we named all these different things, and you know, the surface thing is what? Yahweh Shai died for our sins, right?
God.
Did he not?
God.
Wasn't that the main thing?
God.
Right? But think about going through life knowing that this is what you were meant to do. This was your purpose. How many of us would keep our integrity? How many of us would stay on the path? Come on, man. You have not suffered under blood striving against sin, and you peel off.
God.
You get nervous and shaky when it's like, hey, show up at this time, ready to do this. It's like, wait a minute, show up. Nigga, I'm a free spirit. I come as thou wilt. I do what I do.
Ooh.
Yeah, I
That's
do
the
as thou wilt.
yeah.
Like, wait, be subject, listen, humble. Hebrews 1:1.
Hebrews chapter 1 and verse 1. Yahweh, who at sundry times and in diverse manners spake in times past unto the fathers by the prophets.
Right, so the Most High spoke to the prophets, right, in the past times in diverse manners. Go ahead.
Hath in these last days spoken unto us by his Son.
By his Son, come on.
Whom he hath appointed heir of all things.
Yeah, he gave him dominion over all things, sat him on the right hand. Go ahead.
By whom also he made the world.
Go ahead.
Who being the brightness of his glory.
Read.
And the express image of his person.
See, these are some of the reasons why he was given this dominion. He was the brightness of his glory. He didn't get the glory and trample it. He didn't get the wisdom and not use it. Read.
And
it said he was his express image. He was the mirror image of the Most High. Not just in looks. Not like, oh, they both got woolly hairs and beards. No, it was that wisdom that emanated, the way he judged, the way he dealt with people. Go ahead.
And upholding all things by the word of his power.
Wait, by his own will?
By the word of his power.
By the way he wanted to do things.
By the word of his power.
Go ahead.
When he had by himself purged our sins.
He did what?
What was that, DMX?
That word hit him. It said he did what?
When he had himself purged our sins.
Remember, he purged our sins. That was the mission, wasn't it?
God.
Now, how many of us would have did the Jonah? I'm not trying to do that. I don't go through what it takes to be the purger of sins. I don't want to do what it takes to uphold somebody else's glory. I don't want to do what it takes to be someone else's express image. It's a lot of work. Did not Christ have to put in a lot of work?
God.
You think? Listen, it said he was tempted just like us.
God.
So think about when you're tempted and how much you got to fight. Think about how many phone calls you got to make and counsels you got to have just to not bend over to old girl's house, or not smoke the cigarette, or not yell at your rib, or not beat her or punch her, or just stay humble. Think about it. Think about how much counsels and scriptures you got to get just to say, nah, brother, don't punch him in the face. Let's talk about it. Think about it. Think about that. But see, Yahweh Shai had to do the same thing. He had to go through the Rolodex, the mental Rolodex of, no, let me not kill the Pharisees today, even though they're peeing me off. Let me not whoop on these cats, even though they deserve it. Watch, read on.
Sat down on the right hand of the majesty on high.
Right, so he was sat on the majesty on high, that right hand, just for being able to uphold a standard, right?
God.
So, how did he do it? What's that?
I have a scripture and a point.
Go ahead.
We
need 4 tables up. We need 5 chairs up here, man. Go ahead.
I was just thinking, man.
Serious.
I was just thinking about, like, with a point that you just made, how Yahweh Shai could have killed the Pharisees, right? Because he had the power, or like he even had the power to come down from to.
Yeah, don't jump.
No,
Don't jump.
So don't even
Yeah, hold it. I think I know where you're going, and I kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, just hold it. If not, then we can come back to it.
Okay.
What's up?
So, can I drop the scripture?
Of course. Is it going to go into the point?
That's what he's saying. Hold it.
Yeah, is it going to go into the point you're trying to make?
No, it's not.
Oh, okay, go ahead. What you got?
The scripture is St. John chapter 4, verse 34.
Okay.
And it's just how the Christ obtained the crown, right?
Right.
And it says, Yahushua said unto them, my meat is to do the will of him that sent me.
Right.
And to finish his work. So the reason being why I pulled it was because this is how Christ gained the crown. Because we were chosen to do the work of the Most High. And it says, my meat is to do the will of him that sent me.
Mm-hmm.
So like just like all of us were chosen to do this work. And it's meat for us to do the work. So when we go against the grain and we start trying to do some other
works.
I really want to say the S word.
Right, but other works.
But when we go against the grain and we want to do this other work, it's not meat for us.
Right.
Because we weren't made for it.
And I'm going to go into that because it's another point in being a leader. Where, and what made Yahushua a great leader? Whose will did he execute?
His Father.
Right. So without jumping, it's a good point, but I'm gonna go into that. Go. So how did Yahushua get the dominion? How did he get to sit at the right hand of the Most High? Well, he pulled the first scripture in Hebrews. He had to be made as a man, right? Go to Hebrews 2 and 9.
Hebrews chapter 2 verse 9.
Go ahead.
But we see Yahushua, who was made a little lower than the angels.
So he was made lower than the angels. Go ahead.
For the suffering of death.
Wait, for the what?
Suffering of death.
See, if it was about him being made as an angel or coming not as a man, he wouldn't be able to suffer death. He was made for the purpose to suffer death. To show you that you could still be tempted, go through your path, and execute not your will, but the will of the Most High. Again, you have not suffered unto blood, striving against sin. Somebody get that one for me. Ain't nobody's saying, hey, you got to die for this right now. We ain't dying for the word. Go ahead, read on.
Crowned with glory and honor.
This is how he got crowned with the glory and honor. Read.
That he by the grace of the Most High should taste death for every man.
Right, so for one, he had to be made as a man. He had to suffer as a man. He had to be tempted as a man. Right? And so what does that do? Now he wasn't able to make himself of a reputation. Now he wasn't able to sit back and say, well, see, I was made as an angel. See, I got power too. So what did he have to do? He had to be humble. He had to come down, suffer as a man, deal like a man, be tempted as a man. But not boast himself as something that he wasn't. Because we know that Yahushua had power, right? So go to Philippians 2 and verse 6. And I know I'm kind of breezing through it, but y'all are getting the points, right? God, read that. Philippians chapter 2 and verse 6.
Philippians chapter 2 verse 6.
Go ahead.
Who, being in the form of God.
How was he in the form of God? Well, we read in Colossians what?
How was he in the form?
How was Yahushua in the form of God?
I mean, he had the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Most High.
There it is. He had the wisdom, he had the knowledge, he had the standing, but he also had the power. He had the power to take himself out of the will. What was that power? Come on, man. We all got it. What was the power? Was it something extraordinary? What was it?
I mean, just the will to say no.
Free will. He got free will to say, I'm out of here, bro. I'm not doing that. Yeah, suffer. For these things? What? They ain't even trying to hear me. He had free will. But we know he had other power. But first and foremost, he had free will to excuse himself out of the situation. Right? Just like we all have free will not to go through what we need to go through. Or go through what Christ went through. Read on.
God, verse 7.
Slap.
Who being in the form of God,
right,
thought it not robbery to be equal with God.
So he thought it robbery to be equal with God. He knew, I can't put myself up with the Most High. I can't call myself God. I can't take on the will as if it's mine. Go ahead.
Verse 7. But Made himself of no reputation.
He did what?
Made himself of no reputation.
He made himself of no reputation. When he was healing, what would he say? Don't even tell him I was here. Don't even mention it. You want a tip? No, I don't even need a tip. Don't even mention that I was around. Just take that healing and go on your way. Pick up your bed and go on your way. He wasn't out there like, yeah, I'm healing the sick, dog. I'm out here, I'm pouring up wine. We kicking it, we having a party, Passover, get all the lambs. He wasn't doing that. He had the power to command angels. We got to understand this. Yahushua as a man had the power to command angels. But how come he wasn't wielding that power? Now think about your boss. Think about your boss at work. He got the power to lead you around and tell you which way to go and tell you to flip upside down and do cartwheels. And guess what? He doesn't. He abuses his power, right?
God.
How come Yahushua as a leader didn't abuse his powers? But man, when we was that?
How come he didn't?
How come he didn't?
He was showing us an example of how to be.
He was showing us an example of how to have power, but not have to execute. Again, I'm gonna keep saying it, because if he used the power, what was he doing?
Was he taking the glory away from the Most High?
He would be making himself as a reputation. He'd be taking the glory. Because what do? Do we not use our power? Do we not use our authority? What is our authority? Is to do what? And it's not really authority, it's our foolishness, but we intervene. We intervene in matters that don't even concern us. We intervene in the Most High's matters. We try to affect situations and change things. Because why? We get impatient. We don't want to be long-suffering. We don't want to be humble. We don't want to listen. And we try to go in and say, well, I'm going to do it my way. I'm not going to wait on the Most High. Right? And what happens? We take away that glory.
Personally, I'm just learning that it's the lack of discipline. You know, Mashiach had discipline.
He had discipline. Yeah. As a leader, you need discipline. These are some of the things that got him on that right hand of the Most High. You want to pull that?
Yeah, give me 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 21. You know, just on a point about Yahushua and how Yahushua moved and what he was to us.
God.
Read that.
1 Peter chapter 2, verse 21.
Come on.
For even hereunto were ye called.
Read.
Because Yahushua also suffered for us.
Yeah, man. So Yahushua suffered. Read.
Leaving us an example.
He did what?
Leaving us an example.
Yeah, so Yahushua was showing us how to walk the walk that he had to walk from Yahweh, his father. Read.
That ye should follow his steps.
Yeah, man. So we have to follow how Yahushua was walking. That's why he went through the things he had to go through. You know, he dealt with the things the way he dealt with them was for example. So you got to see that.
Jump back to Philippians 2 and verse 8.
God, Philippians chapter 2.
Oh no, verse 7.
Verse 7.
Uh-huh.
But made himself of no reputation.
Go ahead.
And took upon him the form of a servant.
Of a what?
Of a servant.
Yeah, he understood that his true leadership was to really be in servitude, to be a minister to the apostles, and to the brothers and the sisters, to the nation. He didn't say, well, I'm the son of the Most High, bow down to me, follow me. How come he didn't do that at that time? He could have, right?
God.
Couldn't he just, couldn't he just snap his fingers, the Thanos snap, and just destroyed all the nations and just put us in the kingdom?
God.
But he didn't do that. He knew that he had to be a servant first.
It's what you were saying is we stop that process. We fight that process a lot. To where we don't want to go through the things that's necessary that's going to sit us on the right hand of the Most High. You know, I keep quoting it the last few days where he told the sons of Zebedee, he said to the mother, he said, you shall drink of this cup? Was it them?
Yeah, it was.
Well,
no, go. You can go, but there's a point in there.
Yeah, go ahead. No.
Go ahead, read on. Go ahead, read on. Everybody wants to steal my points. Read. And my scriptures. What's up?
I was going to say, too, man, I was just thinking about it, too. Because Christ could have did what you just said, right?
Yep.
But the scripture, like the scripture says, a man is going to cleave unto his own like.
Mm-hmm.
So think about it. If we're going to be in the kingdom with Christ, like he said, he's not going to drink of the wine until the kingdom with us, right?
Right.
Why would Christ? If we go through the separation, the same sufferings that Christ went through, then in the kingdom, yeah, like we're just like him. So a man shall cleave unto his own like.
Right.
So Christ, you know, we would mesh. But if the Most High, if Christ would just put us through it, we ain't never went through no separations, then we up there with him who did that.
That already happened. We already were given the silver spoon and we messed up.
Joshua on wax, fat, and kid.
Yeah, or going back to Adam. He was already born into the kingdom.
Yep.
The power, had dominion over the whole earth. And what did he do with it? He didn't know what to do with it. So this prophecy, process had to happen. The Most High put us through this captivity and led us down this road to bring us to Yahushua, the example, right? Which the first Adam was a living soul. The second Adam was a quickening spirit, right? That second Adam, Yahushua, he had to show us how to really do and go through this process. See, but the point of his class is just showing us that you're never going to get those rewards. You're never going to get to sit on the right hand of the Most High if you're not looking at the details of what really you have to go through. Because isn't that where the problem is with Israelites? They're saying, I don't think it's necessary to have to do that. Like what I'm dealing with right now, like this nigga's attitude right now, I don't got to deal with that. Like dealing with my rib being out of order, you know what I mean? And then still having to deal with her with wisdom. I don't see that that's necessary. Like, I can easily just go meet somebody else online and swap her out. Right? Isn't that, I mean, because a lot of brothers feel, a lot of Israel feel, a lot of women feel like the process of what y'all saying the truth is, I don't got to go through that to be accepted. But that's a lie, because then why did Yahushua had to go through all these things? If he taught us how to walk, to sit on the right hand of the Most High, then why did he go through those things? So is it a lie or is it the truth?
Damn, it's a Tinder.
Tinder?
On Tinder, get your new rib.
Yeah. White boy side, huh? No. That's everybody?
That's everybody's site.
Oh, okay. I don't.
You get the instant rib on Tinder. I mean, I don't know.
Insta rib on Tinder.
Yeah. Y'all don't go on Tinder. Stop it.
The devil's playhouse.
That's a devil's app.
The devil's app.
Go to jump back to Philippians.
But y'all get what I'm saying, right? Isn't that the process? Or do we think it's not necessary? How many of y'all think it's not necessary? What?
I was going to say, but then that would mean that we're better than Yahushua. Because
Yeah,
we
but
shouldn't have to go through what he went through.
But some of us think
that. But no. It's almost like they void out that part where Yahushua went through. Like, I don't have to go and be humble to this nigga's attitude. I could just avoid him. I cannot come around him. I don't have to apply Leviticus. I don't have to buy forgive thy brother 70 times 7. I don't got it. What the brother say? It says, well, what did he quote to us? He said, what Mark say?
Said a lot.
No, stay away from food when you see.
Answer not a fool.
No. It says in Proverbs, is stay away from a fool when you see folly in him.
Oh yeah.
Which I told him, I said that is correct. But see, what that means is this. See, Mark, we be getting out Mark. But what that means is this. I don't have to deal with it.
Right.
See, a lot of brothers are like, I don't have to deal with the issues. I can just avoid them. And if that was the case, then why did Yahushua get to sit on the right hand of the Most High? By dealing with them, or doing the Thanos snap, or doing I'm just going to avoid Peter. The next time Peter says something stupid out of his face, I'm going to stay away from him. Because it's getting to the point where he's irritating me. Or the next time Judas comes over, and I know this nigga's fake, and he's asking questions that trying to provoke me or trying to mess with me, I shouldn't have to go through that. You understand? It's those moments that are defining the path. We read scriptures and we're thinking like, he went through it. What did he go through? He did it. He went through the fire. Y'all don't, a lot of people don't know what that means.
What is the it?
Right. What was the it that he went through? Right? It was them standing before the Pharisees and the Sadducees. Him standing before them and not doing what? I'm going to kill all you niggas. Right? It was him standing before the women that were throwing theirself at him, and he did what? See, y'all don't think about Israel don't think about that. Yahushua was tempted in all manner we are tempted in, right? That's what the scripture said? That's what it said? That's real, right?
That's good.
Okay. So, how many women were throwing it at him and he didn't fall into it? How many brothers made him angry and he still had to show them love? Right? How many times that pride came on him and he said to himself, I don't gotta do this. I don't gotta deal with this. I'm Yahushua, Hamashiach. The Most High gave me power to lay down my life or to take it up. How many times did he deal with those things? Now, you said, well, it doesn't say he said that. If he was tempted in all manner you're tempted in, how do you feel about it?
This is BS.
Right, this is BS.
I don't have to take this.
I don't have to take this.
I ain't got to be here. I got options.
Or you just fall into the temptation.
Right.
Or you just say, oh yeah, she's throwing it at me, I'm going to take that. Oh
right.
Yeah, he rolled it up for me, I'm going to hit that.
Right.
It's either you say, I don't got to deal with this, or you fall into it.
Right.
I mean, it's funny that you said about being tempted in all manner, and then you think about like women trying to come on to Yahushua. Was it like righteous chicks? He was going town to town, right? You think that he did that? Like,
no, he was getting some of those filthy ones.
He was getting them dirty, filthy ones.
The ones that
turn him out.
The ones that knew that they can drain his power.
Yeah, they were trying to really rip his. They were like, damn, he's a righteous man. I need that.
Right.
Him what? What you want?
No, they wanted some of that virtue, man. That
that's what you said.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, that's what they wanted, but because they saw it on him. You know, it's funny, them demons, they see certain things on brothers, and they're like, yeah, that's what we want to latch on to, because demons ain't going to latch to demons. Demons want to latch on to the righteous.
Yeah, they want to drain the...
Yeah, Asmodeus wanted some of that.
Put him in the grave.
Yeah. They wanted to drain him. But jump back to Philippians.
Philippians chapter 2, verse 8.
Go ahead.
And being found in fashion as a man.
Right, so just reiterating with this reputation, he was found in the fashion of a man. Go ahead.
He humbled himself.
He did what?
He humbled himself.
He exerted himself over everybody.
He humbled himself.
Yeah, Yahushua had to be humble. Not just for 3 years, not just from the age 12 up to 23. Like, he was humble his whole life.
Now I'm going to say it again so y'all won't just read the scripture and it go right over your head. That means Yahushua didn't say, I don't have to deal with this. Y'all get it? Yahushua didn't say, oh, you know what? I don't got to deal with this nigga. I don't got to deal with this brother, this sister.
This situation.
I don't got to deal with this situation. He didn't say that because he humbled himself. Now, how many of us is that in your talk? Right? How many brothers and sisters in their mind they're saying that? Or you said that? That's the wrong mentality. Because if Yahushua humbled himself, who are you? Right? So go ahead. Go ahead.
And you got to see that the scripture's going to tell us it was way past what we're dealing with. It was way past even what he thought it had to be. Watch.
But that's not true to some people. Some people in here,
they think their situation is the end all be all.
Yeah, they're like, bro, you don't know, you don't understand what I'm going through. You don't understand what I'm dealing with. What I'm battling is beyond what you can comprehend. And you know what? For the fact of you belittling my situation, you don't understand me.
Right. Put yourself in my shoes.
Yeah.
Like, we've all been in one another's shoes at some point.
It goes back to Yahushua was tempted in all manner. We're tempted in, but how did he deal with it? Y'all see that? Did he lash out at the apostles? Did he blame it on everybody else? Right? Did he go
you know, he dealt with the Pharisees and they ticked him off. Then he went to Peter and them and just started blazing them up. But how many brothers and sisters don't follow that same example? You see? So go ahead, read on. We don't got a lot of time.
He humbled himself and became obedient unto death.
He became what?
Obedient unto death.
Yeah, he had to humble himself to his own death. You gotta really think about that, where we don't even want to humble ourselves through a 2-minute counsel.
So death is easy. We all know that, right?
God.
But Yahushai's death wasn't easy.
No.
Because how? And I'm not talking about just before we even get to the physical death, the torture of dealing with niggas.
Right.
The torture with dealing with disgruntled niggas.
Yeah.
He had to go through that all the way. Listen, how many of y'all felt like when you were praying and you were crying that brother or sister wasn't there for you? Yahushua been through that, right? He's crying. The apostles asleep, right? He's telling them, y'all pray, right? But they're not hearing that. Yahushua went through it. Why do you, when you go through it, you feel like, I don't have to go through this? You know what? There's no real love here. Did Yahushua do that?
No.
Did Yahushua do that? Oh, see, y'all supposed to be about love. Did Yahushua go back to the apostles saying, see, y'all supposed to be brothers. It says a brother's going through adversity, but y'all niggas is wicked. Y'all sleep. Why you didn't pray with me, brother? But how many brothers and sisters with your little garbage ass logic do that? Right? Yes, it's garbage logic. Why? Because it's your excuse to veer from the path that the Most High put you on. And for you to say, I'm not going to do that. And you know what? I'm going to blame it on everybody else. You didn't treat me as a brother, so guess what? I'm a nigga now. You didn't treat me as a brother, so you know what? I'm a nigga now.
My brother.
For Yahushua. You know what I mean? Because you didn't do what Yahushua said, I'm not going to do what Yahushua said.
So that's your excuse to be vengeful.
That's your garbage Kmart logic. You go get those out of the cookie box and really think, dang, you know what, I'm deep with this. But you're not. You're not. What you're doing is you're making an excuse, and you're not seeing that Yahushua, he'd been through these things, but how did he deal with it? Right? What you saying?
No, I'm saying that's your excuse to render that evil, to go back and forth, it's your excuse to be vengeful. When you really look at it, it's your excuse to say, well, you're not doing something to me, so I'm not going to do it to others. Or you did something to me, so I'm going to do it back to you. But that's another point. Did Yahushua do that? Could he afford vengeance? Did he?
I mean,
he didn't.
He didn't, right? Go to Nahum 2 verse 1. Now we understand one thing about Yahushua is that isn't he going to bring the vengeance?
But when he was there, was it time for vengeance? So what did he have to humble himself to?
The will of the Most High.
See, but that's vague.
Yeah.
He had to humble to the Bible. He had to humble to the wisdom.
Yeah.
He had to humble to the scriptures. But in reality, nobody gets anything from that. And I'm not taking a shot at you. I'm saying that every time we do that, he humbled to the law. Bro, to Israel, that's don't eat pork and keep the Sabbath.
No.
That ain't got nothing to do with when I'm emotional and I cry in me. I gotta control that and put the will of the Most High first. A lot of people don't understand that. They're thinking, I didn't eat pork today, but brotherhood and dealing with forgiving my brother, nowhere in the scripture says I got to deal with that. I don't got to be put in that situation. What?
I was gonna say he had to go through the experience of dealing with another man's face, dealing with another man in his face, dealing with a group of people disrespecting him and treating him wrong. He had to go through these experiences. He couldn't just say, "Oh well, I'm keeping the Bible to myself."
Right.
I don't have to go out and perform the Bible, but I know it within myself.
Perfect.
But the thing is though, didn't Yahushua have the power to be vengeance?
Right.
To have that, he is vengeance. He is vengeance.
So think about it. Think about it more. Think about you having the power.
Right. That's
what you do though.
Right. That's
what you do.
You have the power.
You do.
To exact
like I got
vengeance.
the power to punch you in the face. You got the power to punch me in the face.
Right.
Right. That's the vengeance.
Right.
But now think about Yahushai's vengeance. Think about why it says he humbled himself and was fashioned like a man. So you know where you come from. You know where you've been put, right? And you got to be in this humble mind through all that to deal with the ridicule, the lies, the falsehood, the disgruntled people coming up against you. Yeah.
Think about being the creator of something and then having to become that creation. Think about that. Put your mind in that, and put yourself in those shoes where you created something to move a certain way, then it didn't, and then you had to be made into that creation. To bring that creation back to what it was supposed to be. Think about that. Think about that. I mean, Yahushua created us, right?
God.
And then it said he had to come down in the form of a man. He had to be humble.
The form of a servant.
The form of a man and servant. Because you could be a man and just be a nigga.
God.
But he came as a servant. Not like, oh, guess what? I'm the Lord over all of y'all. Y'all bow to me. All you nations die real quick. No, he said, listen, I'm going to be just like y'all. I'm going to wash y'all's feet. I'm going to show you the right way to walk the way you should have walked way, way back when you were created. Imagine the mind state. Really, imagine that. Imagine creating a baby. And then the baby is just off, and then you got to be created as a baby to show that baby the right way to do things. How many of y'all want to do that?
You know what? They do it. They do it. We do it in humanity. Every time you have a baby. But how many of us is bad parents?
Ooh.
How many of us don't? Yeah. How many of us don't go or resent the process? So you're yelling at the baby. Mm-hmm. You're not panic. You're not acknowledging him. You won't nourish him. You won't show him love. You become that bad parent because you don't. That love wasn't in you.
Right. So you never really humbled yourself to be that good example.
Yeah.
Yeah. Damn.
But it all goes back to what was Yahushai's example, and the point we're trying to make with this class is that when you go through something, do you say, well, that's not necessary as a Hebrew Israelite? Because I can tell you something, man, a lot of brothers and sisters believe that, no, it's just about me getting the knowledge, me sitting on the Sabbath, but all that other stuff y'all talking about, no.
Or
I'm not going to put myself through that.
Right. Or if I do go through something, I have to be vengeful.
Right.
I got to pull the gun out. If I do get tempted, I have to deal with whatever is tempting me.
Right.
Like, I don't have to be tried by anything. Everything is here. Look, it's all lawful. Everything's expedient. Everything's lawful.
Yeah.
No, that can't be the mind. But go to Nahum real quick.
Chapter 2, verse 1. Nahum chapter 2, verse 1.
Because this point where, as a leader, to get this crown, Yahushua couldn't be vengeful. He couldn't have vengeance. Even though he was in his entire right. Even though we're in our right to be vengeful and give vengeance on our enemies, right?
God.
I mean, who don't want to go out there and bust some heads?
God.
But is it the time?
Wow.
Read.
Nahum chapter 2, verse 1.
Go ahead.
He that dasheth in pieces.
No, Nahum 1 and 2, Salakia. I'm sorry.
Nahum chapter 1, verse 2.
Go ahead.
The burden of Nineveh. The book of the vision of Nahum.
Right.
The Elkoshite.
No, read verse 2. Go ahead.
Verse 2.
Uh-huh.
God is jealous.
Read.
And the Lord revenges.
And who what?
The Lord revenges.
Go ahead.
The Lord revenges.
Read.
And is furious.
See, Yahushua revengeth and is furious. But where was that fury when it was time for him to get up on that cross? How come he didn't just blaze these niggas up and just say, I'm done with this? How come he didn't just destroy Peter when Peter was coming up against him? How come he didn't kill Judas? Was he not in the right?
God.
Well, according to y'all, he was. According to our mind. But according to the Spirit, lie. He wasn't in the right. It wasn't his will. What you got, Ariel?
I was gonna say, actually, he applied everything opposite. So during the time of him being on the cross, he actually displayed compassion.
Right.
Like the scripture says, have compassion on the ignorant. Because during that time, that's like one of the weakest times when you're hanging on the cross and people are still walking by mocking you.
Right.
Like he said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do.
Right. So we got to look at it, man. Look at the emotion he had to overcome. Look at the self-will that he couldn't display. Where we get a little ticked off at somebody, you get cut off in the lanes, you want to ram your car into them. you know, somebody says something to you or does something to you at work, and you plotting and planning and destroying your brain on how I'm gonna get them back, or how I'm gonna tattletale on them, or how I'm gonna put them on blast. You give all your power to that instead of saying, you know what, let me not tap into the emotion. But it's telling us right here, the Most High is jealous. Read it again.
Verse 2. God is jealous. And the Lord revengeth.
Go ahead.
The Lord revengeth.
He keeps saying the Lord revengeth. Go ahead.
And is furious.
And is what?
Furious.
So he got the right. He's furious. Read.
The Lord will take vengeance on his adversaries.
He will do what?
Take vengeance on his adversaries.
Was not the Pharisees an adversary?
God.
Were not the Romans adversaries?
God.
Were not the wicked Israelites that delivered Yahushua adversaries?
God.
So how come they didn't get destroyed? Because as that leader, as that man of wisdom, he had to understand discernment and time, and that it wasn't his will. Go from there, go to Acts 6. Acts chapter, Yeah, what's up? You gotta say it quick.
Our adversary is the old man. And those emotions and those spirits that we deal with. That's our adversary. That's what we should be taking revenge on.
Right.
Vengeance upon is those emotions and those, that old man, those old characteristics that we got.
Well, I got a question. I got a scripture for you. It says, avenging all disobedience when your disobedience is fulfilled. That's the problem. We want to avenge everything else but ourselves. You never want to avenge the old man, because it's like, damn, that's still a part of me. I don't want to check him. Hell nah. I'm not going to check that old guy. Because if I do, it's going to hurt my ego, my spirit. It's going to bring down my countenance. But Yahushua had the power to avenge, is the point. Go to Deuteronomy 32 and verse 35 real quick. No, actually Acts 1 and 6.
Acts chapter 1 and verse 6. When they therefore were come together, they asked of him, saying, Lord.
This is what the apostles asked of Yahushua. Go ahead.
Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel?
Now, think about what the restoration of the kingdom would have taken. Well, we read it all through Isaiah 14. We read it all through Isaiah. The restoration of the kingdom was vengeance on the nations, them bowing down to us, we bringing them into subjection, right? So how come Yahushua wasn't like, hell yeah, let's do it. I'm going to call down the holy legions, right? I'm going to call down all the angels. I'm going to get Michael, Raphael, Uriah, and Gabaria, Allah.
God.
We'll get them all here.
Right.
And we're going to do this damn thing. But what did he say? Read.
Verse 7. And he said unto them, it is not for you to know the time or the season which the Father hath put. Which the Father hath put.
And he put it all back into the hands of the Most High. It ain't my time or your time to know what the Father got set up. Read on.
In his own power.
Read.
But ye shall receive power.
Matthew 26 and 47. Matthew 26 and 47. He said, which the Father hath put in his own power. See, I'm not going to take the power of the Most High and try to use it as my own. Y'all get that?
God.
Matthew 26 and 47.
Matthew chapter 26, verse 47. And while he yet spake, lo, Judas, one of the 12, came, and with him a great multitude with swords and staves from the chief priests and elders of the people.
Now you got to see this. This is when Yahushua is going to get delivered up by Judas. Right? So it said that the multitude came. So all these wicked niggas, Israel, came with Judas and with the chief priests. Go ahead.
Now he that betrayed.
And with the elders of the people. So the heads, the ones that were supposed to have real judgment and discernment, they even showed up like, yeah, we want a peace. Come on, man. Yahushua could have just blasted these cats. Read on.
Verse 48. Now he that betrayed him gave them a sign.
Go ahead.
Saying, whomsoever I shall kiss, that same is he. Hold him fast.
Right, because the scriptures say that Judas betrayed Yahushua with a kiss. Go ahead.
Verse 49. And forthwith he came to Yahushua and said, Hail, Master.
Right.
And kissed him.
Right, he came with a little front and spirit. I'm going to bow down. I'm going to act humble. Right? It's one that bows himself, but inwardly is full of deceit.
Now, Yahushua had to deal with what? Fake Negroes. Right?
Right.
What did he do? Y'all gotta ask yourself, is this biblical or not? A lot of times you sit amongst Israel, you sit with brothers and sisters, and you feel what? This person's not real.
Yeah, they're fake. They're not genuine.
Yeah, they're fake. Right? When you're fake as hell, we got a lot of that too. You be fake as hell, but you want to point out somebody else being fake. Right? But what happens? You get irritated, you get emotional, and you don't walk your path correctly because this individual.
Yeah, you let somebody twist your spirit, and you let somebody twist the wisdom in you to make you act a certain way. I mean, it's weird. How can you let somebody control your spirit? If they're really fake, phony, if they're garbage, how can they change your character?
Because they're not really that character. They're seeing themselves in this person, and they're feeling they're getting away with it when they should be.
Right.
It's not a righteous indignation.
No, it's not.
Because a righteous indignation is to show forth a righteous example and stay consistent. Right?
Good.
Be not overcome with evil, but what?
Overcome evil with good.
That's what the Bible says. So you're right, it is garbage mentality. It's that worldly mentality again. Go ahead.
Read verse 49.
Verse 49. And forthwith he came to Yahushua and said, Hail, Master.
Go ahead.
And kissed him.
Read.
And Yahushua said unto him.
Wait, so Yahushua punched him in the face?
And Yahushua said unto him.
Get out of here, you dusty nigga, you deliver me up.
And Yahushua said unto him.
What did he say unto him? Read.
Friend.
He called him what?
Friend.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait. And I know that some of y'all are thinking like, yeah, he was his friend. Yahushua, he didn't really think of him as a friend.
Now, was this the time for Yahushua to fight? Huh? La, right?
La.
Well,
is this your time to fight?
La.
Okay, y'all ain't with me. I see y'all emotional as hell.
I said,
no, listen.
No. Bunk that.
No, was he justified in fighting back? Would he have been justified in saying, wait a minute, y'all can't take me?
It's self-defense.
Thank you for correcting.
Yeah, not fighting.
Wording.
But would he have been justified to say, you know what? Nah, y'all can't take me. My nigga, I'm not going. I'm innocent. I know the law. Right? Would he have been justified? Like, let's be real. What did he do?
That's self-defense.
Right? Self-defense. Like, y'all put a hand on me.
So now can I ask my question?
Con.
How many of you feel you're justified when you see niggas amongst you and you feel you've been treated wrong? Now, mind you, your judgment is way off, but I'm just playing with you. Okay, your judgment is off. It be way off because you got demons on you because you're seeing the demon on the other person. But I'm going to play with you. Let's say you're right. What does the Bible say do? What did Yahushua do?
Not evil for evil.
Right? And then what he said? What else it says?
No, really, for real.
He said suffer what?
Wrongfully.
Right? What is Yahushua doing?
Suffering wrongfully.
There you go. So how many of us felt like, nah, I ain't going to suffer this. I don't have to go through this.
Or I'm always suffering wrongfully. You always quote that scripture. When am I going to suffer right? Like, it's always let me guess, suffer wrongfully, right? We used to hear that scripture a lot back. Let me guess, suffer wrongfully, right?
What?
But then nobody finishes the rest of the scripture of that precept because the Most High is going to fight
for you.
Right.
Like so,
nobody believes that. Like fight for me. Nah,
so
right,
when you
fight for myself.
Because essentially, if you're not gonna suffer wrongfully, then the Most High can't fight for you. So you're basically telling him you got this.
Right.
I don't need your help.
I don't need your help. I don't need to follow. I don't need to go through these things to show your glory.
And that's the point of the class.
The point. Yeah.
Let's measure up what Yahushua went through and ask ourselves, is it necessary in the truth to go through those things? Or y'all made this up? You make this up?
It's really, why are you going through what you go through? Are you going through it for your glory or for the glory of the Most High? Or do we? Because a lot of it, because a lot of us go through things and we do say, why do I got to go through this? A lot of us do suffer wrongfully and say, why do I got to suffer wrong? But now we're seeing why. Because this is how you are and become the express image of the Most High. This is how you glorify Him. This is how you get that crown. Watch, read on.
God. Friend, wherefore art thou come?
Right, friend, what you here to do? Read.
Then came they and laid hands on Yahushua.
Right.
And took him.
Wait, and he fought.
And took him.
And he wing chunged everybody.
And took him.
And he put the grappling hold and bear clawed niggas in the face.
And took him.
And he got took. Read.
And behold, one of them which were with Yahushua stretched out his hand.
Right.
And drew a sword.
Go ahead.
And struck a servant of the high priest.
Go ahead.
And smote off his ear.
Read on.
Did they all draw swords? And they all just start chopping the Romans up.
Then said Yahushua unto him,
Go ahead.
Put up again thy sword into his place.
Yeah, he's like, put that sword away. Now, do Yahushua need a sword? Read on.
For all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword.
Yeah, you live by the sword, you perish by the sword. Now now check this out. This is what I want to get to. Read.
Thinkest thou that I cannot now pray to my Father, and he shall presently give me more than 12 legions of angels?
Now check this out. You got to look at this precept. Did he say, I can call down angels from the sky and blaze y'all niggas? Or did he say, I still got to be humble to my Father? I got to pray to him. Or did he say, nigga, I got the control. I got this, B. Let me call down these 12 legions and get this whole situation fixed. Read it one more time.
Verse 53.
Thinkest
thou that I cannot now pray to my Father?
He said, don't you think I can pray to my Father and he's going to hear me? Why though? Why did he have that much confidence in just a prayer? Why? Because the whole time Yahushua was rolling, he did the will of the Most High. Whenever he prayed, he didn't pray for it. Listen, when it says you ask, and you ask him, go there real quick. Go to James. You don't receive? See, Yahushua knew that. Listen, bro, I could pray for 12 legions, and this whole situation is done. What's your garbage little sword going to do? Go to James real quick. James 1. James 4. Right?
James chapter 4 verse 3. Ye ask and receive not.
You do what?
Ye ask and receive not.
You say you ask but you receive not. He said, don't you think I could ask and get 12 legions? But we ask and we receive not. Why? Read.
Because ye ask and miss.
Because we do what?
Ask and miss.
Yeah, you ask and you miss. You ask the wrong way. You ask for the wrong thing. You're only praying when you need something. You're only praying when you're in times of peril. You don't pray in season and out of season. Read.
That you may consume it upon your lust.
Right, because it's about your lust. Yahushua, if he would have let that sword action happen, that would have been because of his lust. That would have been because of the lust of man. Even him saying, don't you think I could pray to my Father? Why didn't he do it? Because what would he have been fulfilling?
His own lust.
His own lust. And what would he have been showing as a leader? The wrong example. How though? That leaders have the advantage of getting their way and getting out of things because why? I got a position of power.
And I don't have to go through this.
I don't have to go through things as a leader.
I don't have to go through this.
That's how get going.
Yeah. Get your sword. Peter, when you go through this, you're going to fight. Right? John, whoever, y'all sawed in half, y'all heads chopped off, you're crucified upside down. You don't have to go through this.
Right.
But listen, y'all think that's a small thing, but how many Israelites are talking about, bro, are y'all ready to get guns, pop off? not understanding, like, bro, if that was the case, don't you think the black man, we would have been winning? If it was about guns?
Right.
The whole hood got guns.
And they getting shot.
But the guns with no wisdom, it doesn't matter. The guns without the Most High, it doesn't matter. See, the whole point I keep reiterating is, when every time you going through something and you're coming back and saying to yourself, this is not necessary to serve the Lord. Like, y'all niggas are putting me through this. This person, that's what happens. Aria and me got an issue, got a problem, and I don't like Aria or he don't like me. That ain't the truth to people. Like, that predicament is not where the truth is supposed to be applied in. It's no holds barred now because it's us. When that's wicked. This is exactly where we supposed to apply the scriptures at. Not say, it's not necessary for me to deal with him no more now. Y'all see this? It's a corrupt mind. It's a destructive mind that's going to take you right back into the lust of what you desire. Go ahead.
And I'm going to just paraphrase this real quick. Y'all can read it. Even when you jump and you read in Luke 9:51-56, where Yahushua was, they were going to take a pilgrimage to Jerusalem. The apostles, they sent some messengers forth, and they weren't received into the city by the Samaritans. The apostles asked Christ, should we call down fire from heaven? Now think about this. The apostles have the power to call down fire from heaven. And what did Yahushua tell you? He said, nah. He said, chill. So he was showing, he bestowed them with power.
Yeah.
Why though? Why? So they can know when and how to wield that. It wasn't about taking vengeance. It was about, you got to deal with rejection.
Yeah, think about that Hebrew Israelite camp. Just close your eyes. The one camp that's all strung out on power. Imagine if they were X-Men.
We'd all be dead. We'd all be dead.
And imagine if that one camp that's just power hungry was given the power of X-Men.
Oh,
we'd be destroyed.
We actually got to read this.
Yeah, but go ahead, read it. Read it quick.
Jump to Luke. I got one more point.
It's 10 o'clock.
But man, we got Christmas tomorrow. Y'all ain't going on.
Bro, they got to go wrap presents.
Which I got to put up the tree? But if so, y'all late. Y'all missed the 12 days of Christmas when True Love came to me.
He was going to be at my house
at what time? 12 noon or 12 a.m.? Luke 9:51.
Luke chapter 9 and verse 51. And it came to pass, when the time was come that he should be received up, he steadfast set his face to Jerusalem.
Go ahead.
And sent messengers before his face.
Go ahead.
And they went and entered into the village of Samaritans.
Right, so he was headed to Jerusalem. They went into the village of the Samaritans. These servants. Go ahead.
To make ready for him.
Go ahead.
And they did not receive him.
Luke 9:51. Read. And they did what?
And they did not receive him.
So the apostles were going through rejection. Right? They were rejected. But didn't it say that Yahushua was rejected of men?
God.
So what were they having to go through?
The same thing.
The same example. Read.
God. And they did not receive him because his face was as though he would go to Jerusalem.
Come on.
And when his disciples James and John saw this,
right,
they said, Lord.
So the disciples saw that he was rejected. They said, okay, Lord, what you want us to do? Read.
Wilt thou that we command fire to come down from heaven?
They said, wilt thou that we command fire from heaven? Read.
And consume them.
And do what?
And consume them.
Read.
Even as Elisha did.
Right? Come on.
And he turned and rebuked them.
No, he said, yeah, call that fire down, burn them up.
But he turned and rebuked them.
He had to turn and check them. Why? Read on.
And said.
Man, stop. I gotta say this. I gotta say this.
I was trying to.
There'd be so many times where I counsel. And I had to tell individuals, they're like, well, you just going to let that person get away with that? I had to come back and say.
Yeah, I love that.
I had to come back and say, let things reveal themselves. It's like, stop trying to take vengeance all the time. We don't have to all the time. And mind you, this ain't this subject ain't playing out like they're doing something wicked, right? Because we know somebody doing something wicked, they got to get checked, right? We're talking about a person's perception and judgment that's off, right? So I see you make a mistake, and I judge your intentions. That's what it's talking about, right? He did something. I'm just using him because he's standing here. He did something, and then his intentions, I'm judging them. So a person come and be like, well, you see how Ariel did that? His intentions were all wrong. You ain't gonna say nothing? I'm like, you're always jumping to judge his intentions. And a lot of times, your judgment be off. You can't always want to call fire down from heaven. You can't always have to put the hammer down. Sometimes you got to step back and let the Spirit move and reveal the Judas, reveal the brother, the sister, right? How many times the scripture say there's one that slippeth from the mouth but not from the heart? Right?
God.
So everything ain't this nigga's wicked. It's probably a legitimate mistake. You understand that?
God.
But what about if they do it over and over again? But you're judging their intentions. And who are you that judges another man's servant? You can't judge your own intentions. You understand this? So this is a predicament that we get in all the time, right? You get in these situations and somebody wants you to lay the law down. Listen, we caught her in adultery. What you gonna do, Kazak? What you gonna do, Kazaki? It's like, first of all, could we examine first, then rebuke, right? Nah. Where's the stones at? Like, you're quick to stone instead of to see what the problem is. And that's how you know your judgment's off, because you're not judging according to the scriptures, man. You're not judging according to the wisdom of Yahushua. So it's things like that you're going to encounter in the truth. You're going to deal with in the truth. Like, you might be on the other pendulum saying that. But what you haven't realized is this. That Yahushua sat with Judas. And until you tell me what he had to deal with and understood his mind behind sitting with him these, 3 years?
God.
And having to deal with him and what they talked about, what he seen, what Judas seen, and for Yahushua still on the Passover to break bread and said, this is my body. Until you can explain that to me, then I can't understand your logic. I can't get what you're saying. Right? If Yahushua could sit there with the betrayer and eat with him. Do you not think we're supposed to be sitting with the betrayer?
God.
Right now, I'm going to say this again. Mind you, this is crazy judgment on emotional people that really can't see as far as their hand. They can't see it as far as their hand. They can't really see spiritually enough, but they swear they're enlightened. Right?
God.
Okay, I'm going to patronize you. If you're so much enlightened, why can't you see that Yahushua went through the same thing? Y'all get this?
God.
Do y'all?
God.
Okay, go ahead.
Read on.
Verse 55.
Uh-huh.
But he turned.
Somebody else get John 18:36. Go ahead.
But he turned and rebuked them and said, know ye not what manner of spirit ye are of?
Yeah, he said, don't you know what manner of spirit you're in? Like, what are you talking about, bro? What spirit is on you where you want to call down stones and fire from heaven to burn up a city because they didn't want to let us in? Go ahead.
Verse 56.
It's like we've been talking about lately about that brother or sister that didn't get the knowledge right when you gave it to them. You got brothers. Right. You know what I mean? You got brothers really quick to burn down the city. Yahushua said, listen, what do you say? Dust the hands off?
Dust off your feet.
Dust off your feet, right?
Won't accept you. Dust off your feet, but them not God speak.
Yeah, but how do you not know that in the future something's gonna work on them?
God, right? Yeah.
That's why it says Right.
One man plant, another man water, the Most High give the increase.
So
a man might get increased 3 years from now.
But that's the thing here. It's like y'all ready to destroy this place instead of
waiting for the increase.
Doing like the Most High.
Yeah.
Having mercy.
Having mercy. And just waiting. And not realizing that you're not the one that makes a man get it. But watch, read on. Yahweh Shai is going to say it.
Verse 56. For the Son of Man is not come to destroy men's lives.
Yeah. Don't you know what manner of spirit you in? You in the spirit of destruction. You're in the spirit of bad judgment. You're in the spirit of chaos. You're in the spirit of railing for railing. I didn't come to destroy man's lives. Go ahead.
But to save them.
But to do what?
Save them.
Yeah, just because they didn't want to be saved right here and now don't mean they won't be saved down the line. Just because they didn't want to let us in now, give them some time. But if you destroy them, they'll never be saved.
Right.
Go ahead. Is that it?
And they went to another village.
Go to John 18:36. I just want to make one more point. I know it's 10:09, but I want to make one more point after this. Read.
St. John chapter 18, verse 36.
Come on.
Yahweh Shai answered, my kingdom is not of this world.
Come on.
If my kingdom were of this world, then would my servants fight.
This is what Yahweh Shai understood, that his kingdom wasn't of this world. It wasn't of that time. Because if it was, then we'd be out there stoning, battling, fighting. We'd be fighting for the kingdom. It says the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom.
God.
But at that time, Yahweh Shai understood, and he had to set it in the minds of the apostles that, nah, it ain't fighting time. This is the time where we hunt, we fish for men. Then we're going to send out the hunters. Go ahead.
That I should not be delivered to the Jews.
Right. He said, if this was my kingdom, my servants would fight so I wouldn't be delivered up. Read.
But now is my kingdom not from hence.
Right. Now, go to Matthew 17:22. As another attribute of this leader of Christ, when he went through his tribulations, did like some of us do, like, how's your day? And it's like, woe is me, the world is battling down on my shoulders. I'm going to die if I take one more breath of this air. If I go through one more trial, I'm going to crumble up and disappear. Now, remember one thing. Yahweh Shai knew what his path from birth. How come he didn't crumble up and disappear at the age of 12? That's when he really started feeling it. He started teaching. So you know, if you're teaching, what's happening? You're teaching, people are combating. So it wasn't that they were being combative 3 years into his ministry. He was being combative from the age of 12 on the way up, man. Even though, the scripture does say, when he was teaching, they listened. But you think everybody listened? Nah, they were like, you little young dude, get the hell up out of here. You don't know what you're talking about. Right. They were despising him in his youth, or trying to. But he had to deal with that. Now, him knowing that he got to get delivered up, and you think he didn't know the way, the details? Now, did he walk around all sorrowful, woe is me? But whoa, he was the man of many sorrows. Read.
St. John chapter, Matthew chapter 17.
Somebody else gets 16 and 21 in Matthews.
Verse 22.
Read.
And while they abode in Galilee, Yahweh Shai said unto them, the Son of Man shall be betrayed into the hands of men.
Right, so he knew this, and he was letting the apostles know. Go ahead.
And they shall kill him.
And they shall do what?
And they shall kill him.
So he's saying, listen, they're going to kill me. Come on.
And the third day, he shall be raised again.
Read on.
And they were exceeding sorry.
Wait. He was sorry.
And they were exceeding sorry.
Wait, he started crying and like, woe is me, I don't want to go through that.
And they were exceeding sorry.
They got exceedingly sorry. Well, he kept it moving. Watch. Go to Matthew 16:21.
Matthew chapter 16 and verse 21.
Come on.
From that time forth began Yahweh Shai to show unto his disciples how that he must go unto Jerusalem.
Come on.
And suffer many things of the elders and chief priests and scribes, and be killed.
And be what?
And be killed.
Read.
And be raised again the third day.
Right, so he could have easily been like, man, I know what the hell my father did. The nigga done sent me down here to die? What kind of father is that? Was he on that? Read.
Verse 22. Then Peter took him and began to rebuke him.
Peter did what?
Began to rebuke him.
Peter is the one that got emotional. He's the one that got all scared and nervous and faithless. Like, hell no, Yahweh, Shai, that ain't happening to you because I'm here for you. I'm going to die for you. Right?
God.
He got all emotional, start talking fast, and then he could think, I'll die for the truth, brother. Hell nah, that ain't gonna happen. But he was the first one to deny Yahushua 3 times. Read on.
And began to rebuke him, saying, Be it far from thee, Lord. This shall not be unto thee.
No, not on my watch. I'm going to guard your life like it was my life. I'm going to love your soul like David loved Jonathan's soul. Right?
God.
Not on, hell nah, Yahushua. You trip, man. Yahushua tripping talking about they going to kill him. Hell nah, bro.
I wish somebody would.
I'm on that wish factor. Read.
But he turned.
Read.
But he turned and said unto Peter.
Man, Peter, you right, bro. Man, I don't know why I gotta die. I don't know why my daddy making me go through this. Man, I hate parents. Read on. Parents just don't get it, right? Go ahead.
Get thee behind me, Satan.
He did what?
Get thee behind me.
Yeah, did he sit there and like go through all the emotional and like, and feed into the negative? I said, get thee behind me, Satan. Why? Read.
Thou art an offense unto me.
Yeah, you offensive as hell. Because it wasn't about his emotion. It wasn't about how he felt. Read on.
For thou savorest not the things that be of the Most High.
You see that? You don't savor the will of the Most High. You don't savor the things, you don't savor the work of my Father. Yeah. I'll be about my Father's work. I'll be about his business.
God.
What business are you about? Thou has a devil. Read.
God. But those that be of men.
But yeah, you savor the things that are of men. As a leader, as trying to gain this crown, we can't savor the things of men. We got to savor the will of the Most High in Christ. We got to walk the way he walked. We got to glory in the tribulation. We got to put away the pride. You know, we got to put away the excuses. And we just got to walk in the right mind. What's up?
It's like the scripture you pulled earlier in Colossians chapter 3 verse 1.
Right? Set your affections.
It said that's the specific precept. Like he set his affections on it. That when you look up that word, it's that desire, that strong will to do it. Like
right.
It's unstoppable. It's unquenchable. It's like a yearning. You got to do this. There's no other way.
Hebrews 12:2. One more. We're gonna end it on this. Yeah. Because you made a good point. Yeah, I knew you wanted to get a piece. Hebrews 12:2.
Hebrews chapter 12:2.
This is why he did it. This is and the things that he had to go through. Now you could title this. He put away his pride. He put away his. You know, like the scriptures say, we are made fools for Christ's sake. He was willing to be made a fool, a laughingstock, an astonishment, a punching bag. Why though? Because he understood the glory that was going to come. Read Hebrews 12:2.
Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 2. Looking unto Yahushua,
read.
The author and finisher of our faith.
Yeah, he's the author and the finisher of your faith. Why? Because he authored and finished his faith. He went through his trial. He went through his path. He didn't start something and then was like, oh, no, I can't do that, bro. I'm not in the spirit today. Hell nah. Well, yeah, 2.5 years, and I'm going to let y'all have it. Think about when the apostles tried to exorcise that demon out of that little boy. They couldn't. And they Yahushua, he said, man, just leave that till tomorrow. He took charge. He took the oversight, and he showed them. He was always ready to go. He was the starter and finisher. He should be the example of our faith. Read.
Who? For the joy.
For the what?
For the joy.
Come on.
That was set before him.
Now, the joy that was presently happening?
That was set before him.
This joy was in the future. So where's your joy at? That's a whole nother class. That's a whole nother class, baby. But where's your joy at? Is your joy in the tribulations? Or is your joy in the little frivolous things you can get a month from now, 2 months from now? The things that are promised to you in the carnal life. Is that where your joy is at? Read.
Set before them, before him, endured the cross.
He did what?
Endured the cross.
Are you enduring your cross? Are you steadfast in your cross? Or are you wavering and double-minded? Are you in the mind of, I don't got to deal with this. I don't got to go through this. Why me, Lord? Take me out of it. Listen, even when Yahushua asked the Most High to remove this cup, he said, if it be thy will. He prayed and said, if it be thy will, remove this cup. If you want it to happen, obviously, it wasn't the Most High's will.
And then when he didn't move it, he didn't say, F this.
Right,
the Most High ain't with me. You don't care for me.
Right.
You don't love me.
See, God ain't real.
See, yeah.
Nevertheless, let thy will be done.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, see, you ain't real God. You forsake
y'all don't be acting like you ain't never heard that. Stop it. You know how many Israel do that? They, you know what I mean? Once something don't get answered right away, they start doing what? God ain't with me.
See, the Most High,
See,
he wouldn't have to go through this if he was real.
Right.
Like, why you got me going through this?
Exactly.
But see, that's why I got to go do my own thing. I got to go get myself right.
Ooh.
Read on.
No, that's it now. We gonna
no, you got to finish it. Read on.
God despising.
Come on, man.
And was set before Salai. I'm going to read it from the top. I'm sorry. Look unto Yahushua, the author and finisher of our faith.
Right.
Who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross.
Come on.
Despising the shame.
He did what?
Despising the shame.
Yeah, he despised the shame. Now, you know, we all, man, a whole other topic. But the shame. See, a lot of us are shameful with the things we got to deal with and go through. You're shameful because you don't have what you think you should have. So for you, it's a shame. I can't run through Macy's and spend and do all that. I can't celebrate Christmas no more.
I ain't got Sundays off and kick it with my family. And
yeah, I can't hang out with the family. I don't have leisure time like I used to. Now you're like, it's a shame to be an Israelite because you're putting in a labor of love. A lot of y'all feel shame. Oh, I can't hang out with my family. I can't do what my family does. Or I don't want to be around anybody that doesn't know what an Israelite is because now I got to explain it. But you shouldn't be shamed. But it said Yahushua despised the shame. He didn't care about that. He didn't care about getting whipped, beat, punched, kicked, talked about, rejected. He didn't care about not having. He didn't care about not having a place to lay his head. He didn't care about any. Guess what he didn't really care about? He didn't care about putting away his pride. He didn't care about being humble, being a servant. He didn't care about any of those things. He despised the shame. Go ahead.
And is set down at the right hand of the throne of the Most High.
And that's the end result of lowering your mind into that servant mind state. He's set down at the right hand of the Most High. Go ahead. Is that it?
God.
Any questions?
Wow.
Hopefully we can tap into the eggnog time.
Any questions?
Hopefully we can tap into the unwrap the first gift. You know y'all used to do it.
Do we got any questions online? Okay, we'll wait a few seconds to see if they got anything before we just click off the online. Any comments on there? Anything? That we wanna? No. Okay. You know, Esau, they gave y'all a day off. They gave us a day off.
Finally.
You know,
what's up
for the little fake holiday? Yeah.
No, it was good that you asked. You know, who for the joy? Where supposedly this is supposed to be like the joyous time of the year.
Yeah.
However, nah, it's not. You know, for a lot of people, I mean, this is they overspend.
Stress.
You know, it's like
anger. Yeah. Yeah, driving down the streets, it wasn't joy. It was just walking through the mall. They angry. They mad.
Yeah. Oh man,
everybody here.
I had to buy a gift for my wife and my chick. Like, you did that. Now you mad as hell. You got to spend that dough.
Yeah.
You did that, bro. Man, I got to buy gifts for all these kids. You had those kids. Yeah, they upset, man.
They complain. They hate it.
The only ones that's having joy is Israel because we get a day off. You know what I mean? We get a day off. Yeah, the brothers from San Antonio were going to come down, so we'll talk about that off. Anything else? Okay, all right. Salute them, everybody. Say shalom.
Shalom!
We'll see y'all here Wednesday. All right, unless...
Jesus is real, but you devils taught lies on Christ. So many lies that when we come with the truth, people think that the lies is the truth and that the truth is the lie. Who changed the truth for God into a lie? In English, Jesus Christ, in Hebrew, is Yahushua. So do or die. The Immaculate Conception is deception, along with the myth of giving gifts on December 25th. Christmas is Satan's claws. The facts can't be changed. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. Hebrew Israelites. Kwam Yashala. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High.